Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna tweet. I guess. Let me get a picture.
I've been telling everyone all week. They're like, "So what are we doing about questions? Is there?"
I'm not doing.
You know, you don't want to do that. Oh,
Again,
Do it.
come
Do it.
on.
Hold on. I gotta see the angle that I gotta work with to do
I'll
this.
take it and then I'll show you before I send it.
No, dude, I don't trust you.
You're out of control. Okay, like that.
It's good. It's a bit dark, but it's good.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Your hands look so small.
That's fine.
They
Why
do
do your
look
hands look so small?
That's it.
Actually,
Why do they look like little baby hands? Anyway, I'm tweeting
Compared
this.
my hands.
I'm
to
tweeting this
yours.
one off.
Oh, you reckon?
Oh, you want to do this?
You wanna do
You want
this
to
right
do
now?
this? Boom! I'm so much taller than you, hand-wise.
We're about the same.
That's actually like
Yeah,
right,
it's like-
right the
it's
same.
like-
yeah.
I'll squash you.
I don't.
Bam.
You're pretty. Stop moving your hand up. Sus.
Look, you just like, hey, he
Yeah.
cheated. He's like, he cheated.
It's just like
he's like, it's a draw.
Okay, we live. Type it in.
Whoa. That's
this is
next
this
level.
is definitely more me.
I don't know. Steampunk's kind of.
Well, this is like Venetian though.
Yeah, it's like
Eyes wide.
it's like
I'm
it's
about
like an
the-
eyes wide
yeah,
shut
I'm-
orgy mask plus, gears.
Steampunk is pretty.
Pretty whack.
Yeah.
I feel like they just threw some gears on it just to make it hit two demographics.
You know the point is to hide your yayo in here.
Really?
Yeah. So
I
you-
Where?
No.
In that beak.
You had the yayo in the beak, so you're just like.
Yeah. It's like, what's up? I'm beaked up,
So you're just zooted the
my
whole
boys.
I like this though because it's like.
On some Mad Max shit, you just zooted off that, whatever it is in Mad Max.
Just call me Lord
A
Humongous.
lack of blood or something, or iron.
Oh yeah. Well, don't they have cancer? Everyone in Mad Max.
Something like that.
But then he drinks the milk of.
Wait, has this been black screen the whole time?
Yes, it's been black. screen the whole
Oh
time.
no.
What did you think? It was. Have you not
Do you not think?
been on this podcast
I
before?
need to go home.
What?
Did you scoot over a bit? This is why I don't like you. You have
What
no
the fuck?
You have no spatial awareness, and this is why I hate you.
Oh.
Look at you, like.
Have you seen me
sitting-
play Melee?
You're sitting cross-legged, and
Is this how it? Alright, look, it's okay. I'm gonna take.
I was saying to Slime when you were in the bathroom. These days, you're literally saying mid or feed on this show.
Your mid or feed.
You literally, as soon as
You
the show
come in here
starts,
and
you
you say
type
mid or
in mid or
feed.
feed.
Yeah.
That's
Except I literally said last week, like, if you want mid, I'll give you mid, and he said no, take it this time, and now he's mid.
no mid.
So what's the problem? I gave it to him. You were trying to go mid or feed this week.
I wasn't trying to go mid or
You're
feed.
trying to snake.
I was
my
just
mid.
I was just trying
And
to
that's not
say.
You
chill.
were hovering.
I was saying maybe I want to pick Kunkka.
No, you
So I just like that mid hero, you know.
you were hovering Invoker, and everyone was shook.
He was like, please.
Like, please.
He's
we
got
don't-
2 games. All right.
This is 3K.
Hey, at least both
we
of them
know
are
it's not
Invoker,
gonna be
dude.
good.
Let's show everyone the nice intro and then let's do it. Yeah. Oh.
I was gonna say I don't know when it stops, so I don't want it to.
It's like the dun-dun-dun, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's actually way better that it stopped there.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome back, Maple Pod. What?
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show,
You're
where the
blowing
show is happening, and we are here, starting a little late. It was a big day at work for everyone. You guys,
Me included.
you included, you had a run that you had to cut short.
It was on the operation table when we cut it short, but the
Ooh.
time was up.
Yeah.
Were
it
you
was-
watching? Were you gooning? IRL?
He was like blowing it for a while, and then I came
He
in
does
and
that.
he just started like hitting it. Like mid run, he was like about to lose it, and then he needed me as moral support.
Yeah, when he's around, I play better.
That's good. Maybe hang out more so he can finally get a time down for
No,
MSD.
I want to sleep on the couch.
You want to?
No.
Oh. You
Dude, Noel was sleeping on the couch today, and the YouTube videos in the back, he was watching YouTube downstairs, and he's watching, like, garbage, like, God of War 10 most times when Kratos was too violent or something. Yeah. And it was...
just like trash.
Yeah, just YouTube garbage. And the video started getting more and more obscure that I was overhearing. And I look around, and he's just asleep with his phone in his hand on the couch.
That's actually adorable.
And I thought...
The trash put him to sleep.
He's going to wake up and just be in a weird place on YouTube.
The autoplay takes him down a dirty, dirty rabbit hole where it's just... Have you seen that meme? It's like wooden coffin, and it's like everyone, and then it says underneath it's like a sarcophagus. It's at Minecraft YouTubers. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to break into one day.
Minecraft YouTube.
You guys
Yeah.
know Sora Minecraft YouTubed?
Does really?
No, when he was like 14.
Sneeper did too.
Everyone has a track
Has a
record.
dark
They
past.
have a rap sheet.
There's tapes everywhere.
There's tapes of COD, Minecraft, YouTubing. I have some old sketches that I filmed myself that weren't too funny.
Your own documentary.
Wouldn't
You
like
have a
people,
documentary?
Wouldn't like people to find those. Yeah, I shot at Evo 2015. I on my phone shot a documentary that was supposed to be funny with my friends. Scott's in it.
Well,
And
I'm
Damien,
sure it is funny then.
if the OG fans remember. And yeah, it wasn't great.
Love me some Scott.
Everyone loves some Scott. Anyway, speaking of Scott, me and Miles went to Colorado.
Oh, we're getting straight into this?
We might as well. But the Colorado Flatiron was this weekend, and me and Miles attended. And there's actually a lot I think that is pretty interesting about that weekend. But also to really quickly recap,
Going was a mistake for me.
Miles broke his foot before he went.
It was like, God, there's like a show or a movie where like a bunch of bad shit keeps happening, and it's like just comically funny.
I've finally gone too far. This time, I finally learned my lesson.
Yeah, but it took so where are you now? What is the aftermath of all this?
I'm just... I just want my phone back. No, the aftermath of all of this is like... I think I have a habit of pushing things as far as they can go all the time and never taking the not risky route.
This sounds like an apology. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like someone
This
like
is a twit longer for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. But you didn't do anything wrong. You just lost your
Actually,
phone.
I was blacked out for a good 2 hours, so I don't know if I said anything too sus. But I was actually in a really good mood,
Yeah.
like around that period.
Mhm.
So I'm pretty sure I didn't.
I don't think you don't really say things.
Yeah, I wasn't fire. I was trying to fight Johnny Kim with a broken foot in a car park at like 3 a.m.
You told me that he was like
He was just talking shit, you know.
and you were like trying to square up, just like I'll do it.
Limp it.
Just limp it.
But yeah, I generally push things pretty far with like, you know, we'll book a trip and be on red eyes and have no place to stay or whatever, or sleep on floors, or we won't have all the details mapped out, right?
I don't think you knew if you were actually signed up 2 days before. I think that was like a...
I was signed up.
No, but that was a conversation.
He says that knowing we can't check.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I was like questioning whether I was signed up, but but I think this was the time because first of all, right, our flight was delayed 2 hours, which put a questionable flight into us getting in at 2 a.m. for a tournament that started at 9.
Yes.
So
we were scheduling it pretty tight, and then it just threw a wrench in the gears.
So right away we were on 4 hours sleep, right? And then the next day started, and it wasn't a train wreck, surprisingly. You know, they had 5 setups the night before, and not a lot of hope by the look of it. And they actually ran it pretty well.
They were actually also setting up this stage for where people play, like during the middle
During
of
doubles.
the tournament.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't you set it up before the tournament starts? You put the stuff together. They're literally building
during.
a set while people's matches are being called, and I'm like, I have never actually seen this before.
Is Flatiron's a 1 day, correct?
It was a 1 day.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bad look.
To be fair, though, it was like I went in. I was like, this is gonna be one of those tournaments, one of those like disasters. It actually ran really tight, and it finished reasonably long with a Game 10 Grand Finals, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, hell yeah, that's cool. But there were other like things about it that I thought were funny and also interesting. For one, I think is the most the people who didn't go, which is most people who watch the tournament, was that they put some matches on stream that was like, which me and Chroma commentated. One was Luigi versus Samus, Calmaster versus Hugs. It was the first game went to 7:40 time.
Yeah.
And So it kind of sorry about that. It was kind of like one of the TOs, someone bitched about it on Reddit, and then one of the TOs went on there and was like, literally, you can see that he's like, we wanted to put matches of our friends on the stream, and the stream is usually a gift. Now he cleared this up, but like, the general sentiment was that streaming is not as important as the in-person attendees, and that so they prioritize. So that's why they threw weird matches on stream.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
And it didn't make a lot of sense, but I was interested to ask Dawson about, like, as a TO and someone who organizes both a stream and a tournament itself, like, he's valid, right? It's his tournament. He can do what he wants and throw Luigi.
No, but then like if he said, "Oh yeah, Flatiron doesn't have a stream," or "Flatiron only streams the matches I want to play beforehand," less people would go. The stream is like necessary for like a major tournament.
Okay.
So you're saying for the top players, they've potentially been robbed out of what they thought was a standard streaming experience.
I think Zane and Hugo got robbed because they played off stream, right?
Hugo played actually on stream against Commaster.
But not against Zane.
No, that was the problem. I feel like a lot of people were like, this is happening offset, this is happening off stream. Like, so many really apparently upsets and good matches were happening off stream. And I was like, well, that's weird. It should be on stream.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just like, it's an interesting, not to blast the TOs or anything, but it's like, where do you draw the line in validity and say it doesn't, how can you say you don't prioritize it when
you have to.
You have two streams?
Yeah.
But when we're talking about it, is this pointing to a bigger issue or just phenomena of if you play Luigi, prepared to not be on stream? Is
that's
that
actually a fucked up thing to think about.
Well, that's what you're saying, right? Boring matches are on stream. I want to see Moth. I want to see him versus Fox. I want to see Fox versus whoever. You know, like Carmaster versus Hugs shouldn't have been on stream. That's what we're saying.
That's not what he's saying.
That's basically what people are saying.
Yeah,
and I personally don't have a problem.
Is that correct?
I don't know.
And that's a bigger conversation
so.
for us to have.
I think so too. But it's two parts. It's like, do you, as a TO, like, is it optimal for you to not put that on stream? And two, is that even right?
Yeah, and it's like, who's to say which matches should go on stream? Because some people might want to watch Luigi versus Samus, and if we've decided as a community we don't, is that valid? Like, if you main Luigi, prepared to never be on stream?
Well, I think that's just like one match out of like many, as opposed to
But
like
Puff versus Samus, is that another one that we say is too boring for
well,
stream?
it's not about the match. It's the fact that they want to put their homies on stream, which is the problem.
That's literally what he said in the comments.
Yeah,
he said it was two
that's
things. First,
issue.
he said, we chose matches that we thought would be good upset potential. Okay, there you go. Unfortunately, the upset matches weren't on stream.
Yeah.
But
is that just unlucky, though?
Two, it is unlucky. But two, then he literally said we wanted to put our friends on in the beginning of Top 48, which is weird to say. I feel like you can just do that and not say that you're doing that, right?
Because he doesn't even need to post that, right?
No, you don't even need to respond. You literally don't.
Yeah. And if fans are like, this boring
like
matches on stream, it's like, well, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, they can't make the matches interesting.
That's a good point. I mean,
well, it's not like just the boring matches. It's like Hugo Zane, I feel like, is a pretty, like, Marth versus Samus isn't the most exciting matchup to watch.
It's also not the most boring.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. Like, you have two streams for one, and coming out and saying, I want to put my homies on stream, and streaming is a privilege anyways. Like, the stream is a privilege, and the players at the venue matter more. But, like, I feel like those players are also, like, there's incentive for them to be on stream. Because
there is.
Like, especially during Top 48, which is what the conversation was about originally. I think the Top 48 players all want to go to Flatiron because, like, there's two streams and they might get a chance to, like, play against someone good and have it on stream and they could watch it later, you know?
Yeah, and I also don't see the logic where it's like, and again, we're just going off of the Reddit comment.
Is it just two bad takes to end up in the same place? Like, the place that they ended up in was okay, where it's like, TOs will decide what matches are interesting, and interesting is subjective anyway, so we just chose the ones we liked. But the two takes they used to get there were really whack.
I think so, yeah.
Like,
right
like, answer, really wrong explanation.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's the right answer, though, because, I think it's expected to have a stream at a major now. Like,
also, like, how
like
much
you have to have
it was basically like, we're weighing the tournament experience over the stream, but it's like, what tournament experience is being gained by that being played off stream?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
even
I
say that?
I don't understand that, right? And
yeah.
it's just
That's what I'm saying. Is like
very strangely handled, and maybe obviously maybe it wasn't the way it was supposed to be articulated, but it's weird.
I mean, saying though,
Basically, me and Chroma had to commentate Hugs Commaster. We had to do that.
I don't. But whose
But
homie
that was
is that? Whose homie are either of those players?
No,
in
it was
Colorado?
actually funny because like those matches, because they go so long, you have time to like riff.
Yeah.
And with Chroma, someone's
Yeah.
very funny, and it's
Chroma
like
is really funny.
it's a fun time for the commentators and hopefully for the viewers. But I can definitely see how people who like to mute commentary, which I encourage you to do at all times, they're like, what the fuck?
Also, big commentary sin. You were like, and we had to commentate this match. You're just there, all right? Don't you worry. Like, there was one time when Fendi came off the stage and he was like, "Why'd they give me like X40 versus X40? Why'd they?" It's like they didn't give you anything.
Yeah,
Fendi.
yeah,
You
no,
just happened to be there.
I was making a joke, but yeah, that is
Yeah.
my philosophy.
And
is
so
like,
whenever commentators are
just
like,
there.
"Oh, we had a bad block of bad matches or whatever," I was like, "Well, why don't you get on stage and change something then
Yeah,
next time
yeah,
in the
yeah.
bracket?" Like, you're just a man standing by giving his opinion, and to be like, "Hey, I want better things to give my opinion on," is a really like conceited thing to say.
It
right?
is, yeah, and it's very entitled, and that's why when those matches come up, I never go, oh god. I'll make a crack or two about it, but I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm here, and I'm here to be on the mic.
Yeah, and I think
Here to help.
observing it the same way that you would as a fan observing it with a buddy in the crowd is like really, to me, that's fun commentary. If two guys sitting on a couch being like, "Oh, this thing," but then getting into a bit of the specifics is kind of what you want, you know?
Yeah.
You want the homie vibe plus a little extra of like being in the crowd. What would you be saying to your friend next to you? But it needs to be a little more structured.
Agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, I just cut everyone off when I exclaimed that, but I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. It's like, does Street Fighter have this problem? Are there like fucking lame ass matches that nobody wants to see?
The thing about fighting games is they've accepted lame so much before we did. Like, even if you dash back as Fox, people are like, there it is. He's fucking lame. And then if you watch like some of the Street Fighter legends, like Justin Wong in Marvel,
Justin Wong is
he was
the
known
lamest
to lame.
player
Really?
in fighting game history.
Yeah,
yes.
dude. He just lames. And Daigo lames too. Like, and they'll get up and just be like, good. Fighting games have been lame.
You throw 90 fireballs and they're like,
But
good shit.
there's
good shit.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
also a difference to like traditional fighters as opposed to melee. Like platform fighters there's
They
even
run
more
long.
lame options.
And they run so long. Like there's
S-
99
eight-
seconds on Street Fighter.
Yeah.
That's as long as it can go.
But there's, potentially 5 rounds, and that's one game.
I still think I would love to see a side by side of like the longest melee best of 3 alongside the longest.
Well, the longest Street Fighter best of 5 is 5 minutes per game, right? Because there'd be 5 minutes, yeah, per game, and then you've got 5 games, so it'd be
5
20
minutes? How?
99 seconds. Oh no, more than that. Sorry, 7
Yeah.
minutes, right?
Yeah. Either way, it's just an interesting
Yeah,
like.
am I wrong there?
I think your math is
I think
wrong,
it's
but I think your
7.5
idea is right
minutes.
here.
Roughly, right? Because if it's 99 seconds, that's like a minute and a half per round that it could possibly be, and that can go to 5.
Yeah.
So it's 7.5, and then you would multiply that then by 5 potentially again, because each game is then the set is 5.
Right, but what like is it? What makes it so infuriating in Melee? Or not infuriating, but what makes the average
Mango
Switch
culture,
viewer
dude.
be like, ah?
Because we've seen how it can be.
I don't know because okay, there's platforms in melee. You could
confirmed.
Yeah, there's always a place to run away to. Like if you're in the corner in Street Fighter, there's legitimate a wall
Yeah.
just stopping you from going any further, Like
There kind of is in Melee though as well. The ledge is a terrible place to be, unless you're Fox.
I don't know.
or a Mario brother or
But what I mean though
I
is like
see.
once you've got your back up against that wall, that's where you can start double jumping or trying to run out. Like being cornered is very, very bad in Melee, as if there is an invisible wall.
what
there,
about Marth?
Yeah. I mean, if he's gonna Mewtwo King you and do it perfectly, even then you're at a disadvantage and you need them to make a mistake to
Yeah,
let you out.
but you could always jump to a platform. There's always an option of escape in melee. Like sometimes
I think
in
there are
Street
options
Fighter,
of escape in Street Fighter too. We probably just don't know enough about it.
I think you have to be more proactive.
because I don't know anything about actual fighting games, I'm just trying to look at it from like what makes two Twitch viewers be like, ah, and the other one be like,
It's just the
okay.
FGC have known this. It's the same with StarCraft. Like laming in StarCraft and getting that win through like drawn out defensive play. Like Flash, the best player in the world, or like yeah, Flash for example, he just controls space with tanks, and he's just the best in the world at doing that. And he just the way that he positions units and the way that he controls space and controls the map, he just strangleholds you, and then he'll beat you on 5 base versus 5 base or 4 base versus 4 base, you know. And that's how he's been winning his matches, and the crowd love it. And I think Melee has just our champions have always been, you know, Captain Falcon is everyone's favorite character when they start.
Is Melee like the most don't be lame game?
Yeah, probably.
I think, because I'm trying to think.
Well, no, because
Not at the high level though, because people still do it. Like,
No, but I don't care about that. I'm talking about the entire
fans?
culture of
oh
like.
yeah,
Like, is there another game out there where people are like being lame is a sin, and it's very widely accepted that that's the.
I think it goes hand in hand with the fact that everyone is also a player as well as a spectator, and they go, I remember when my buddy used this strategy on me and it didn't feel good. Whereas most StarCraft fans or Quake fans or Counter-Strike fans or whatever are either playing very low-level online matches or mostly just watching. And so they're like, wow, good play, because that's two pros playing against each other, and it's not like me being cheesed by my buddy, which is so much more visceral. And then I can say, that's the same character that did that, and he's fading back with a forward air. I hate that. Because you've had it happen to you, potentially at a local, or it stopped your own career, and that's why you hate it so much.
People that don't play that are maybe listeners who don't actually play the game, I would love to sit someone down and be like, what do you think about all this shit? And like kind of run through questions with them and get like their idea on it. You know
I was
what
gonna say, I think in Street Fighter 4 towards the end when Elena got released, and
I heard
Justin-
Elena was fucked up.
like
She could
people
heal.
actually hated the fucking game and thought it was the lamest shit ever because it was a character with a heal and like had very good like long hitboxes, and like Justin Wong obviously abused the hell out of her, and every game kind of went to a timeout with Elena. Not every
Yeah.
game, but a lot of them did. And then people were like, "Wow, this game fucking sucks." And then Street Fighter 5 came out, and now everyone's like, "That game was actually sick."
So basically, it can be. Maybe it's like the nature of Melee itself, right? Because if Elena can like find her way into Street Fighter 4, and people are like, oh shit,
Because there's a
No.
mechanic to that kind of like doesn't necessarily break the game, but like healing.
It's built around stalling.
Yeah, like healing is built around like making the timer go longer, like extending the match. Just
Right.
much like in Melee, running away is dash dance camping, platform camping. Like when Jigs times out Ices, like it's a really fucking lame mechanic because you were literally running away the whole match. So it's like I think being lame.
But that's
like,
just the optimal strategy, though. There's not many other games where you see a pro executing the optimal strategy and it gets canned so hard.
What are you talking about? What situation?
Just running away from ice climbers or camping top platform or whatever. Even Hungrybox, I brought this up before on the show, I think. DreamHack Austin, he played with Chu the first set, and he mucked around with him. Chu actually won that first set, and then he was like, all right, now for the real strategies, and just platform camped him, just timed him out like twice, and won the tournament.
Right.
Yeah, but that could also be like him not knowing how to play the matchup.
You
as
can
well.
see there's a very clear shift after the first set ends where he's like, all right, now I'm not going to interact because I want to win.
Yeah.
He tried to win playing like interactively and cool for the fans, and then after that he was like, I'm a cash and check.
I don't know. Cause like even against Army, he was like he seemed kind of lost, and then I think he timed Army out too at Bigger Belk.
Really?
He's timed chewed that out at Genesis 4 as well.
I think he's timed Chewed. Since he decided to time out Chuda, he's timed him out every time since.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think
That's
Army,
so ruthless.
Yeah.
You're just like, don't see me in bracket,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Which is like
You
you
know what
don't
happens.
need to time out Ices, and you could still play really safe and be lame.
But why go like with a character that can just grab you and kill you? It's like, why take that risk?
Because you could just back air. There's
But-
no risk in back airing. Back air is like not risky
But
at
then
all.
you have to interact with the man. There is mix-ups there for sure. You're at least on the ground enough so that he can come in, crouch cancel a back air, and get closer to you to potentially put damage on you.
Yeah, CC's dumb as hell.
And then, but if you never go near him, then he never even gets a chance where the clock runs out in his favor. He has to start killing his Sopo to get Nana back, which is actually so funny.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
I think that's like valid to be mad at that.
I don't.
As who?
The
Isis?
viewer.
I don't know. It's valid to be like, this sucks.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's like people will complain but then still watch it, and it's like, dog, that's not a good
There-
use of your time.
But there's also people who bounce because it's just like fuck this. and
That's
they
fair
just,
too. What I'm saying is like,
I think Melee's going in that direction. By the way,
when
Just
people
bouncing.
when people like
everyone's doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
when people are like, the option is to either sit and complain about something or just change the channel or dip. they like to sit and complain more. And I'm like, just like I'm just saying, like, I've at least accepted the game to the point where it's like, yeah, I get it now, and this is the way it is. And if I don't want to watch it, I'll just go, or I'll like turn on a different Twitch stream. But there's this weird phenomenon where you're just like, like it just, I don't know, it's really mean.
I think it's an entitlement. It's like everyone thinks Melee's for them, where it's just this thing that exists, and it's abusing mechanics and abusing matchups is a very good way to win. And I think that most people, especially when Melee got big again, were brought up in, we just had it too good. It was
you said before, like, we've seen what it's like. We've seen Fox Falco and Left and a Mango, and you're just like, wow. Wowzers.
Yeah, and that's like one room of the house, and it's a cool room. And all of the other rooms are just really filthy.
Yeah.
And it's just like sometimes you have to leave the one you're in and you have to go to those other ones for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And they're just not nice.
They're not nice.
And Melee isn't like, I think that's fans. You know, when you run into that kid who's been playing for like a year or something, he's like, best game on earth, right, my brother? You know, like, God, 16 years and we're still going strong. You know, like all of those tropes.
I hate that so much.
And it's just like, it's like a honeymoon relationship. It's like, oh, you guys will be together forever. You love each other so, you know what I mean? Like, and you're just like yelling at your wife, but you're like, I still love her though. But you just have accepted all of the bad parts of this thing that
You're
you got to
talking
be
about
with
people,
forever.
like
People, relationships,
later on.
and Melee. Like, there's so many things in the game that I don't like. I'm not going to change the channel. There
I'm
are
not
matchups that I
I'm not
don't
gonna
like.
change it. Well, sometimes I'll say, like, you know what, honey, I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah, sometimes you're like, I'm going to take the kids for a weekend away and I'll just go. But I don't think that. I think that's what really loving something is, right? Accepting all
its
those
flaws.
shitty parts.
Exactly. And yeah, it's just an interesting thing. And you could say that this podcast was built on complaining about things.
It literally is just
But
complaining.
there's a
I
sense
don't
of
think we
like,
started it like that.
no, but way back in the day before you guys.
Oh, it was a
Got
complaining show back then?
DayZ.
It was. I mean, it was partly, yeah, but I don't know. Accept the game, right? Like, or just watch something else. There's so much more stuff to watch.
There's stuff to watch.
It's
too.
great. You watch Goosebumps on Netflix.
But
watch Haunted Mask.
I think that the
one-
tournament
one or two.
experience now, like
It's not coming off.
The tournaments.
the tournament experience now all the way through is very different to when PP was good. Armada was still playing Peach all the time because Puff wasn't so prominent. Puff has changed the game, and it doesn't ruin one side of the bracket. Like, that'd be a rude thing to say, but it just means there's a lot of either Puff versus Fox, and you know what's going to happen if it's not like one of the three Foxes that can win, or it's Puff versus another character, and it's going to be a slow, drawn-out, like, stranglehold, like Icy's Puff.
Yes.
And so that means that one side of the bracket is like that, and it's not. I remember when like MLG top 8 was like Leffen versus PP, and then Mango versus Armada, and then that culminates in a crazy grand final, and it just felt like all of these things were happening where it was like everyone plays a different character and they're all really good and like superheroes kind of thing.
Yeah, for real.
And it was really fast, and that was the meta at the time, and now it doesn't feel like that anymore, and I think we were just really blessed to have that period of the game. I think this is an equally valid part of the game, but we were just in the good room for a long time.
a long time. And then you had to go out.
Yeah.
Like, you just ran out of Cheetos, and you're like, you have to go into the other room.
Yeah,
where the
and it's
Cheetos
really
are.
filthy in there.
Like, gross. Like, your room has like a Coors neon sign and like
Just cool shit.
futon.
Sega Genesis.
It's just badass in there.
It's just like
It
really
sounds like
90s
another
badass.
awful room. Which is, I guess, the
What's
state of
your
Melee.
room look like?
It's got fucking
It's got fucking
It's like non-existent
Yeah.
shit.
Heather's
Yeah.
poster on the wall.
just got a lot of Winona Ryder
A lot of
From the
Winona
na-
stuff.
from the mid to late 90s. Yeah, that's it.
That's a good room, man. Yeah, I don't know, but it was interesting to see that so brazenly stated about, like, the stream is whatever, and you guys are lucky to even have one. And
I think
in a way,
EGTV
I
press
think,
releases have always been a little yikes.
yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
like,
know what I will
hey,
say?
come to Flatiron, but I like.
We're not gonna have a stream,
But-
but only for the people we want.
I'm on a really bad Tinder date right now, but guys, please come to Flatiron.
You know what is funny?
The same account is posting that as other things.
Yeah.
You know?
Wait, well, actually, I went out there. The reason I didn't bail, because I was this close to being, because we had a shitload to do today at BTS, and I was like, I need this weekend so bad.
I wish
need
we
to
bailed.
prepare. And I was like, Miles, like, thinking about bailing, and
You
I was
didn't
like,
say that?
I was like, oh, I was thinking about it.
You didn't
no,
say
I
it.
said it in the
If you
car.
s-
In the car, I was driving, and I said, I can't bail. I told them I would do commentary. And I've done that before to Shaq, bless your heart. Sorry, Shaq, I love you. And I did that before, and I felt like shit. And I was like, I can't do that.
I would have taken so little convincing.
Yeah.
Actually, I probably would have been like, no, bro, we should go. That's
You
what.
think you would have had your phone if that happened?
What happened?
If, like, butterfly effect, like, we almost don't go, and, like, maybe something's different.
No.
He has his phone. His foot's not broken.
Yeah. He's
Dude,
like
I
20
think- I
more
think if
pounds
I
of
don't-
muscle.
if I
and he's
don't
like,
lose
what's
that-
up?
I think if I don't lose to that Ice Climbers, I potentially still have my phone.
You think did it happen again?
I lost
The
to Ice
dream
Climbers in
hack
bracket.
story? Miles goes to Colorado, loses in bracket,
No, it was exactly the same.
gets zooted.
The three, like, top three drunkest I've been in America. I think two
After
are
a
at
loss to
Colorado.
Ices, what do you know?
No, and
So
Peach as
stupid.
well. Peach
He's-
was involved.
God, Peach was involved. Lod was involved.
Like,
And dude, I just started sipping straight away. And then Scott's like, bar, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. So I'm on my crutches. Well, hang on. Should we talk about top 8 first?
Yeah, sure. It was one of the funnest top 8s I've like been able to hang out and watch. We were
Why?
in the front row. I don't know. I think it was because Axe was climbing the ladder and AZ was all right there, and as all the boys we love, Mikey and Nick and
Mickey Y.
it's just two people.
it was Shaq was there, and that was fun. And then who else was next to me? Chroma was there. It was just a really fun crew. It's like you're friends and you're sitting and you're watching like some really cool upsets, and it was just really really fun.
Close to the stage as well. Like, the amount
Yeah,
of seating,
super
it
close.
wasn't like Genesis where you're 50 rows back and you kind of just feel like, oh, that's going on up there.
Yeah, it's just like from here to this camera, like it was just super.
There's like an intimacy to it.
Very much so, and I just had a fucking blast, dude. It was great, and that is something that I think is really cool. Like no matter what with Flatiron, like weird streaming justifications and like people coming in and doing hand gestures and getting bumped off commentary and getting bumped, all this weird shit. But like that happened, and that top 8, and it didn't run until 2 a.m, and I was like, fuck yeah,
I'm so
Thank-
glad that
thank
was
God.
a nice time for you.
it really was.
I
yeah.
was just at a bar with Scott.
Was that a nice time?
It was,
Of
actually.
course it was. Yeah,
It was a really
you
good
said
time.
you had a blast.
I did have. Oh, well, I had a blast till later in the night, but we'll get into that later. What about the interview, man?
That was so whack. It was so.
Why are they always like
Why is-
NBC
I don't
and the interview man?
know.
Stop with the interview man.
Everyone's trying to like lay content, but like good content is hard. That's why you don't see a lot of it. It's usually just like interviews and shit. I don't know, and it's yet another part of like people trying to make Melee like other esports or actual sports, and
Just
it's like
stop it.
we've been going down this road a long time.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
It has never worked. It will never work.
What I feel like is it's like a certain weird foods from all around the world. America does this with some things. It's like corn dog, and you're like, we could have corn and then dog. Like that. It's like
You're
this.
like, no.
It's like the thing on the top that just doesn't need to be there. It's
Yeah.
like Mars bar, but it's deep fried.
Yeah.
No, that's too much. You know, like
and
it's
then someone's like, no, but
but
deep fried.
But then after that, you throw it in the microwave with some cheese. You know, it's like no, this isn't food.
I don't know. I mean, and again, maybe it's just like, hey, I want to do interview stuff because I want to like get noticed, and like you go to the TOs and like, can I do interview stuff? And you're like, yeah, sure. Like that's honestly valid. You know, it's lame, but if you want to be the interview man and you're not memeing,
You know, funny.
if you're not
then
on
neck
the
yourself.
scene.
no, God,
Said slime.
if I could just like take it all back, slime on the scene.
Yeah, I'd be in a happier place. I wouldn't
Just-
be here.
Hey, who would win, right? 1,000,000 gyms or one angry slime after 2 videos?
No.
Him. Because they'd all walk it back and say,
Yeah,
like, dude,
yeah.
I didn't mean it. I was just,
I'm not mean
Hey, no,
anymore.
really funny, man.
I was really nice at the tournament to everybody. I hugged people. People from the Discord were there.
Who knew that 2 clips could change everything?
That's how it is on the street.
Oh, snap. I don't need to, dog. I got the extender.
Yeah. What are we talking about though?
People from the Discord though were really
Talking
cool.
about
I
the
played
blicking.
played friendlies with Joe for a long time. Well, not for super long, probably for about half an hour. It was really fun.
Yeah, it didn't come up to me. I wish she came
Yeah,
up to me.
like people who approach me from the Discord, I always have a great time with.
Very cool. That's actually a super big buff of like the podcast and stuff. Is
The automatic icebreaker, so you don't have to just shit on random people
Well, it's
on
just
Twitter anymore.
it's a sub community within a community.
Man.
Everyone's
What
talking
did
my
you do
shit.
this weekend? What'd you do? You
I
were
helped,
TOing a thing.
Yeah,
huh?
I helped run Switch Fest. That's cool. Another Smash 4 tournament.
Explain. How was it? Were they nicer? Were they?
I was telling them they
They were
thank
good
you for
again.
TOing and it's weird.
Dude, Arizona Smash 4. Have you seen the tapes?
Yeah, but Arizona Melee as well.
Arizona
has some
Melee,
problems.
they just don't let the tapes out.
But what I'm saying is like those tapes and they're just like Arizona Melee's tapes. They're like sealed away in a vault in like a forest in a cottage in the woods.
Yeah, but they're still tapes.
Yeah, it's just not as leaky.
Yeah, it's like
These Smash 4 kids just need to learn how to know leaks.
it's because when you have a bunch of 14-year-olds handling tapes, shit gets leaked.
It's just like they're just pulling
There's grown-ass men who are like driving out to the forest to bury the tapes.
You want to hear a funny story?
Someone did that.
When I was like 12, we found on the side of this hill there was like a lot of debris where I grew up, and there was this like hill, and we would go explore, and there was like a bunch of shit. And I think like a homeless man lived there or something. So there's like clothes and just random shit. We found an actual porno VHS like on the beneath this ridge.
Just on an incline,
In
like
some-
a
in
rocky
some
incline.
It was grassy. It was like a grassy mountain.
Oh,
ridge.
like
There was like the road,
That's,
and then
like,
it
full of
came
rubbish?
down, and then it's like trash and grass and all this stuff.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
just hung out down there in the trash. We just played it. And-
Like trash.
beside a highway or something, or like a road.
just like a main road, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so we're down there, and we find this video, and it's VHS tape, and we were like, dude, what if it's a porno? Go home to our friend's house, pop her in. It is a porno.
That's insane.
It was wild, and that was the first time. I'm not gonna get too graphic, but we saw like, a facial, right? Like we're like 11, 12. We're
Was
like,
this
what
you
the
guys'
fuck?
first experience with porn?
I think
like-
not like it was with like graphic porn.
Yeah,
and I
like
think
hardcore shit.
we all
done.
had it together, right? We were just like watching. My friend threw up. I'm not even kidding. He saw with like the mouth and all that, and he just was like and just goes and throws up. We're just watching like what the fuck is this? What's going on? So in very familiar 12-year-old boy fashion, we take the tape out. We don't like finish watching it or anything. We're just like, this is a great evil, and it must be sealed away. We ride our bikes out to like these big dirt mounds where they're like building a new building or something like that, and there's just all this dirt like piled up, and we just go to the top of this
on some
dirt
Lord of
hill.
the Rings shit.
And we climb to the top of this dirt hill, dig a hole, put the tape in a plastic bag, and bury it.
You know, one of you, I don't know if it was you,
Listen.
woke up that night and rode back.
Listen, so we fucking bury it. 2 months later, I'm with my dad, because I used to go visit my dad in the summers, so I'm out of state, and I get a call from my friend, because we would have each other's numbers and talk to each other still, and he's like, dude, one of our friends, I won't name him, he went and dug the tape back up, and he watched it, and he left it in his VCR, and his mom found it.
Oh no!
And he's in such big trouble. He's like, grounded. We can't hang out at all. And I was like, no, why'd he go back for it? He's like, I don't know. It was gross. And that's that story, man. It was like someone really did go back and dig up the tapes. And
It's inevitable.
it was so fucked up that we just found it, too. Like, it was a VHS tape in the grass, and we're like, guys, I bet this is something dirty. And it was. And it's just, it wasn't Top Gun. Like, why not?
Who's really? I guess people really did make VHS.
That means
copies of
someone
Top
went
Gun.
there and tried to throw that tape in the rubbish.
It's like the Ring tape, except it's just, like,
What if
jobs.
your mom grounds you for a week?
What if that was the dumping ground of another group of 12-year-old boys?
Maybe.
You know, like they'd found it somewhere else and they were like, "Oh, we'll throw it in those long grass."
It was the grade ahead of us.
Yeah,
And it just gets
There's
passed
an
down.
episode of South Park where that exact thing happens, where
Yeah,
Randy rents a tape.
Yeah, Backdoor Sluts 9.
Yeah. And they think it's Lord of the Rings, so the kids get it to watch Lord of the Rings, but it's not. And then, is it like Butters becomes Schmeagol and wants to get it back?
Yeah.
That
It's
whole story.
really, it's
they
really
have to like
funny.
return the tape,
And
to
it's
the
called the
video
Two
store.
Towers video store.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. I have actually more
AZ's
stories
fucked
I
up.
won't tell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
AZ's fucked up.
Don't go there.
Melee or
Well,
Smash
I was
4.
gonna say Smash 4 AZ is fucked up. Actually, I bet there's a lot of tapes all over the place.
Oh, dude, there's a lot
Yeah.
of little Melee scenes. We've talked about this on a bigger macro level, where it's like, no, that's my homie. Like, oh, me and my homie
Yeah.
can say that.
Yeah.
Like, there's some questionable car rides going on in the Smash community.
Those car rides, man. And yeah, I don't like think about that.
But yeah. So, interview a guy. Maybe it's not right for Melee.
Because I fiended the chat when I went and watched some of the sets back. Because
Fiending.
Chroma was really he was like, "God, was that good?" Because we were like, I had my feet kicked up on the. It was like a couch type of setup. I was
Yeah.
just kicked up, talking about the game. They can't see us on camera. You couldn't see me lounging that hard. Chroma was like starting to lean back, and he was like starting to get really drowsy. And afterwards, he perks up for the last set we commentate, and then afterwards he's like, "Was that good, man? Like fuck, I feel like we're falling asleep." I'm like, "Beb is great. Fiended the chat, pretty good. Everything was fine." But what that means is I watched that interview guy on the camera, and I was like, "Yeah,
Did he get roasted?
I don't know. Actually, I couldn't watch it all. I was like, this is what this is going to be, but a bunch more times, and then I closed.
Is the game not suited for it, or is a Melee? Are we just too cool for an interview guy?
Game's
Hey,
not
fuck
suited
off.
for it.
Fuck off, interview a guy. Like,
don't-
we're gonna smoke weed out the back of the venue, you know? Like,
I don't think it's either of those things. I think it's just the simple concept of trying to shoehorn into something that isn't like ready for it yet.
Even then, like I don't know. I watched this Street Fighter.
there's just not enough money. That's
there-
what makes interview
well,
a guy cool.
No, it's like I don't think interviewer guy knows how he should be approaching Melee people because all he knows is interviewer guy from esports
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
to Melee people.
Yeah,
Is
but
the
then
reason
what if
that
he
we're
starts
not-
being Lay Slime on Lay Scene, and that doesn't
Well,
work
then he's
either.
cool, right?
No.
That's what you did.
Yeah, but if he's doing that after a tournament, it's like, okay, you just got done playing. Let me fucking meme on you. Like that's not a good look either.
That's just honestly, it's just rude to the players. Like as soon
Yeah,
as they've
that's
lost.
absolutely.
But
rude.
there's a level of like everyone could just be chill, and it doesn't have to be this like thing. Stop trying to make it a thing. Just let it be.
Watching
you know?
old MLG
This isn't a
videos, though,
thing.
Fetch a thing.
they used to get it so weirdly right, and it was like it was a bit boys clubby. Like there's
MLG
this,
you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, like Halo videos. There's this video with Walshy and so interviewer woman tries to run the bit. He's just like, yeah, I just like long warps, and she's like on the beach and stuff, and he's like, yeah, I guess. And then she's like, oh, with pina coladas and all that, and he's like, no, none of that, just the
like,
walking
hold
part.
the
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah, and it's just this really awkward, but it's like they're both just okay with it being awkward, and he's just the weirdest guy at this point in his life. Like, he's just answering questions, like, really strangely, and she's kind of still going with it. And then she's like, well, if you ever need somebody to walk with, hit me up after this. And he takes a second to realize what she said, and then he's just like, and like puts his arm around her and is like thumbing up to the camera, and the whole crowd starts cheering Walshy, and it's like, this would not fly today.
Actually, I don't know.
Like,
Maybe that part, but what like
But that was so goofy, and like that was such a good way. It just felt like everyone in the room was like, he's getting laid tonight. Like it was that funny, like, oh, we're all in on this thing together, and it wasn't manufactured. Even if it
Yeah.
was.
Okay, well, there is a interviewer who works TI who's done it for the past like 5 years now. Casey, she's like a actual reporter,
Uh-huh.
and she's like just a pretty woman who is very like charming and funny and quick. And she turned some of these. The first time she went to a TI, she's doing it for like the local Seattle news station or whatever.
Yeah.
And she turned some of these like brick Dota players who are bad in interviews into like really funny bits because she just knows how to like read people and work with people
honestly-
on that level. And that's like an example of that. you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah. Like a beautiful smiling woman can get you to say and do some things that you might not say to average Joe holding the mic. Like if she's like, "Oh, come on, like we're having a good time, right?" And then suddenly you're much more willing to be like, "Oh, and then this happened and we stomped them," or like anything. Like people come out of their shells in that moment.
Yeah. Also, big esports. Okay, so there's a meme with like D1 college sports players like football, baseball, basketball.
Yeah.
They get interviewed all the time. They get interviewed so much that they make jokes out of it and they like try to meme it up because it's just so
it's so
routine.
boring, yeah.
Same thing, maybe not as routine, but with like actual esports like Dota and CS:GO and League.
For sure.
they have to just it's like a job.
Yeah.
And
It's part of the bigger machine that they're a part of. They're
And-
just cogs in it, right?
And that's another like dynamic. It's
Riot
like
make them do a certain amount of interviews.
it's
Yeah.
like for one, if you're an interview guy, do you really want to go up to that guy who's done this 1,000 times, or is it just like they're paying you so you do it anyway? It's like, at what point do you say, I'm not doing anything that matters?
But
you know what I mean?
what the thing is though, the players can either choose to be. It's kind of like life. You can either choose to have a bad time or choose to make it interesting. And I feel like most of the players who are of that level are going to be like, well, I can't play the game in this time. I have to talk to this guy for 20 minutes. So let's make it as fun as we can. And they probably have some sort of rapport with that guy.
I would hope so.
And at that point, they can either choose to drag their feet and be a little baby about it, or like have fun.
Yeah.
And
But
they probably fall into like both camps equally.
But what if like you're like a top CS:GO player and some guy's coming up to you asking about like a mid tournament like best of 3 that you just won and you're like whatever, I'm just trying to focus on
There's
the
so
next
many
game.
bad questions to ask.
It's just like what is this person gonna say that's gonna make any difference to a viewer? Because that's why they do it, for the viewers.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they have this idea that you put a famous or top level player on the camera and everyone will just be like, which to an extent is true.
It's kind of true, yeah.
But like, at what point are you just like, this doesn't, you know what I mean? I think I just hate
The old MLG, I've been watching a lot of these old MLG interviews, and they used to really fish for beef. They'd be like, so such and such has been talking smack, like he hit you with that BXR last game. What do you got to say to him? And they he'd get the mic and be like, I'm gonna fuck him up. Be like, how bad are you gonna get him?
And you're like,
You know,
dude.
but they would play into it a bit more.
Pretty bad, I guess.
The
I don't know,
yeah,
maybe.
the players were like, I guess, younger and pretty easy to spark off for beefs. But even in Sneaky, there's like this mini documentary about Sneaky and his career, and there's this interview clip of it was heavily implied in the question that was asked to him, would he ever for like $1 trillion swap off Cloud9? And he's like, yeah, I guess I'd consider leaving Cloud9 under the right circumstances. And that was like never in his mind apparently. But he's like, interviewers really wanted to go in on this because Cloud9 was having a bad split, and they really wanted me to say, yeah, there's turmoil.
That's fucked up.
And like
That's not chill.
they pretty much got that answer out of him by asking a question like, hypothetically, for $1 trillion, would you play for TSM instead of Cloud9? And he's like, maybe I would, yeah. And then they just get that bit, and it's like, maybe I would. Maybe I would leave Cloud9 was like the bit that got clipped.
That's so fucked. You know what you say in that situation? Like,
No.
I would bang my dad for $1 trillion. Like, let's be real, interviewer,
Yeah.
man. You know what I mean? Like, but he doesn't. That's not how he's gonna react, right?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think he can react
But-
because of Riot.
I think
anyways.
people mining
That's
questions
so
like that.
That's actually dishonest, like media, really.
Yeah, and well,
Dare
what
I
they
say fake news?
what they wanted to get him to do was say a certain thing though, and the MLG people used to get players to spark beefs like that as well. And I think commentators interviewers have been told it's not the Wild West anymore. You're not allowed to do that.
I mean, that's a good thing because
It
it's
is,
just
yeah.
no more being dishonest. But it's like,
But it leaves us in this really boring realm of like, hey, do you want to win? Yeah, I'm going to try my best. How bad do you want to win? Well, I'm not getting myself. I'm just going to play my best. You know, like that tired conversation. Like MLG, do you remember that?
no.
I think it was Wife who was doing the interviews, and they would get Leffen and be like, so what do you think about this guy? He's like, I don't know, he's pretty good. You know, just a lot of questions that are...
They did that for Smash and Splash.
Yeah.
I think it was D Disciple.
They-
Our
How is
our
anyone
favorite
giving him
stage
a mic?
jumper.
Yeah.
Um,
he should be arrested, not handed a
They
microphone.
they do that at Salty Sweets too, and I think it's dumb. I just don't think like melee players are just too like they don't care about anything else about the game, which is like not the interviewer's fault, but like I can't imagine like you know how Riot does it where after every win like they'll bring up a player to interview or something, or at least they used to back when I used to watch like the LCS. It's like imagining a melee player doing that like after every win of the tournament they have to like here's a quick little interview about like the game you just played.
Leffen kind of
No
has
one
to
would
do that on his, or you know how Mango and Leffen were getting those like My Run at Genesis videos produced for a while?
Yeah.
And he would get to top 48 and be like, I'm feeling pretty good, you know, Ice was hard to beat, but I got there, it was 2-1. Like, they were actually doing that for a while.
Yeah, but that's a lot of that you could just like it's not every single match.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
Like there's a lot of B-roll and other
You know what
things
we
like
need?
that. Like melee players just can't talk about like they don't want to talk about anything after the win or
do
lose.
any like gamers want to do that?
You know who does? Shitters. Bronze level players. Those are the kind of people...
Yeah, you know, I kept it pretty close, and
'Cause those are the kind of guys who want that. And
Close
because
games with the moon.
the thing is... Yeah, close to 0. That's like what your random scene legend is going to say. But what... once you get to such a high level in something, it's like, oh, it wasn't black and white. He played well, and actually a lot of things just didn't go his way. He lost a lot of what's called 50-50. Like, he lost a lot of, like, option select moments where I didn't actually, in fact, beat him. I just played scissors, and he played, like, explaining that to an interviewer is just boring content.
Also, well, in that case, does that mean the interview is for that shitter, for lack of a better word, to just project themselves and be like, one day I'm gonna be
What?
oddly answering questions
It's
and
too
wanting
complex to... What the answer they want is, yeah, I fucked him up, like, TSM, drink Monster. You know, like, that's the kind of shit they want, and what the actual answer from someone who studies a game for their entire life is like, well, actually, it was a very, complicated match, this and this happened. That's boring. What they need is every guy needs an interview shitter who's like, yeah, left and fucked him. Like, it's like you have your coach, and then you have your man. Like,
Yeah.
your hype man. So, like, and you're, like, the fan.
Yeah.
And they interview, like, hey, so we're here with, like, I don't know, Hungrybox's #1 guy, and he's just like, get back, Ed, idiot.
I think they literally do that in
Crowd
CS:GO.
monster.
Yeah.
And you just have it's like having a pet, and he just follows you around, and he's just like, yeah, get him, and he's like a little bit drunk. And he just, instead of you going on camera and actually explaining what the fuck's going on, he gets on camera and just gives the person exactly what they want.
That's actually such a good, like the guy that caught Mango's Genesis medal, he's like a super Mango fan. Like he's like all about Mango, and he goes and watches Mango, and he's a Mango
That's what
guy.
I'm saying, yeah.
He's the guy you interview.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. And he's going to talk trash. He's going to say, fuck whoever just beat Mango. He's going to say, Mango played great, got cheated.
Yeah.
That's the guy you want.
How much would it take you, Dawson, to, at your tournaments, be the MC for one, and also try to be like, hey, you beefing with this guy, huh? Before a top 8 match. How much money?
I think Dawson likes beef.
10,000?
I like beef, but
Would you do it for 10 grand?
No.
20?
No.
20 grand in your pocket right there.
I do it
Money
for 20
has
grand.
no value to me.
$1 million. Say it. Of course you would do
No,
it.
but
It's so much money.
There's tapes.
Yeah, there
Dude,
are
there
tapes.
is $1 million
There's
dollar
tapes
tapes.
of Dawson being whack.
Yeah.
Like that, and that would just be
is that
too
worth
much.
$1 million?
The thing is, though, like, if you're cool enough in
Like-
everything else you do, people will go online and bat for that video.
Yeah, I don't know though.
It just has to be a massive outlier for your character.
I don't think I have enough clout for that. And also, like, think of it this way: it's like I would be like the other Smash and Splash
Yeah.
guy. I don't think I could do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like Dawson's moral center is like this calcified hard. Like you cannot crack it typically.
I do it for.
Sometimes in
I
Discord.
do it for 20,
100,
dude.
yeah.
I do it for 20.
But just imagine Dawson be like, "All right, give me the mic," and you just go up and you're like, "Hey, do you have beef, Armada? Do you have beef?"
He just dies on stage, throws up, and then dies.
At most, I would do for like a host of a tournament is like, hey, thanks everyone for coming out. Have fun.
Yeah, MCs need to be put
Casual.
like slain off the earth
Yeah.
of tournaments.
No, I think when I was at Genesis 4, that was like my first really big tournament.
TK's a
and
good
TK's
MC.
always
TK
good.
really killed it.
Yeah.
TK's a good MC.
He's
And
good.
he's like, he makes it feel like, it's like, oh, my guy's back. He's coming out on stage and he's going to say, hey guys, how's it going? And that's me. I'm going to say, pretty good, TK.
Yeah,
For
it's hype.
some
He's
reason-
actually really good at it. I
Yeah.
think it's just because he's very personable and like I don't know.
He
Clever
manages
and-
to be like he kind of like,
It doesn't
got
feel
swag.
like
He's
he's
got
forcing
swag.
anything.
he walks out onto that stage with a little bit of swag in his step and he says, he's like, oh, hey, Melee fans. And you're like, that's me.
Yeah, you really are like, oh, nice. He knows me.
Yeah.
He's actually just a very chill person. Maybe it's just we've seen too many not chill MCs in our time because it's like it's a shit gig. No one wants to do that.
I
I think
the people who
I
want
think
to
some people
no,
really
but the
wanna
people
do
who
that.
want to do that
Are
are
the-
not good for
yeah.
being MCs.
That's what I was going to say is it's this weird cursed realm where if you want that, that's not you.
Yeah, just like commentary.
Yeah, just like commentary. And you know what? I'm starting to think if you want to be a top Melee player and you don't just love Melee and end up there by byproduct, if that makes sense, like all of the people who I know who are like, yeah, I got ranked because I wanted to be respected, are quitting now.
Yeah.
Like if you don't love Melee and that's what gets you there by a byproduct, I don't know how much longevity you have in you.
much like anything else involving Melee, including commentary, including content, whatever you want
Like
to call
if you don't happen to just kind of be there and not end up there, but just play, and then you're like, one day you're like, oh, I'm getting better, and you just love learning and you love enjoying the game, and
Yeah.
all the people I know who are like, I got good for the clout, are quitting.
That's also why I'm wary of. I know every now and then I like to shit on that save as untitled guy. I actually don't mind him, but I do think that he his sort of brand of content or whatever you want to call it is not long for this game.
Uh,
I
Can
don't.
you
I
keep
don't.
me up to date with this guy?
He's a guy who makes like videos about like here's some storylines to watch out for at Flatiron, which I think is insanely whack. But I'm sure there's like
There's a niche for
there's
that.
a niche for that.
It's just
People
so far
like to
removed
watch
from.
that.
You know who won't stop? Guys like Cardano, Practical Tasks.
Exactly.
Like a channel like Practical Tasks starts up because a man wants answers.
That's exactly it. This guy, I feel like again, I don't know him, and I'm not shitting on him, but it's like I just don't see that like that inside of him.
That's top 10 times Kratos was too brutal in God of
Yeah,
War.
it is. Yeah, and
It's
that
like,
that has a place.
you wanna
YouTube
be-
is built on that.
You want to be a
nowadays, so it's
YouTube
like,
content creator. You don't want to really know the storylines of Melee are just like a vehicle for you to get there.
exactly, and that's fucked up. And I've always thought that was fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's the way it is now, and so I'm like big chillin'. Like Icy's puff sucks. I accept it. You know, everything's fine. It's fine.
the Melee content creation world is such a
We've talked about it. Yeah,
such
it
a strange
sucks,
place.
dude.
yeah,
And
yeah.
It's like there's melee content is trash.
like when you have like the titans of Melee content were literally using bots to troll clips to put them together. Like this is what
That's
this is
us.
Yeah, because you can
Smash
just
a gray.
automate the content.
We're,
you
hey,
can
we're
just
not as
automate
big
it.
as Smash It. Relax, dude.
Relax.
Smash a Gray
No,
up here.
I'm not saying us. I'm saying us, the royal we as a
Oh,
community
okay.
is like
yeah.
that's our content. Just smash a gray and Peng boys.
Were you
just,
doing low tier god just then when you said trash?
Yeah.
Yes, I knew it. By the way, also I guess the first episode of that E-League show aired. None of us watched it.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
We should watch that.
Yeah, we should watch it. Someone mentioned it on Twitter. We haven't watched it, but I'm sure.
Sure, it's great.
Sure it's fire.
Esteban told me about it.
What did he say?
He
He said, "I watched it,"
yeah,
and that's all. It's like I don't know what to think.
yeah. That's the Esteban. Is like, yeah, I watched it.
You're like, okay, good
I
to know.
feel
Good
like
to know.
this show is either low tier god is in this sweet spot where they're like, yeah, this is good, keep this going, or they're like, and that was too hot for TV, and that was too hot for
Yeah.
TV. You know, he's either like every interview with him needs to be cut, or it's in that perfect spot.
I think he said that they try to like start beef already, like fake beef.
That's. I mean, to be fair,
That's reality.
those
TV.
guys, yeah, they were the original beef
starters,
Yeah.
makers.
farmers.
the deli.
Chef Boyardee's.
Yeah.
The Real World was like 93 or some shit.
Yeah,
It was like the
so
first
hype,
season.
dude.
And like imagine that shit back when TV was like I don't know, every show kind of counted. Everything sort of like it was like all right cuz it was so
there was
young
less
and-
of it.
Yeah, there was less of it and everything was sort of young and in a young way.
Was it 93?
I could be wrong.
That's like Simpsons old.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But it was definitely like way before its time.
Yeah.
Unless some TV nerds want to
When was
blow me out of the water on that one, which I would like.
the first episodes of South Park aired? Was it before Simpsons?
90 no, absolutely
No.
not. 98,
You kidding me?
97,
Okay.
I think. They went to 4th grade in 2000. I remember that.
Big day.
Hey, man, old South Park was actually really funny.
Could a show start up like that and get big now? Like with the way that South Park
just-
season 1 was?
I don't know. I think so, but it'd have to do something more than South Park in the way it
Yeah,
did it. You
yeah.
know what I mean? And now South Park, like they just did so many episodes, just became like the news,
Yeah.
like funny news, and that was just like okay, well,
It's
I
kind
mean,
of the route the Simpsons
you
took
got to
as
do
well.
something, right? If you want your show to run for 30 seasons, eventually it dies and is reborn as like a hollow, shambling newsman.
I don't know, Stan. Maybe North Korea really do have nukes.
Yeah, and it's like, all right. I don't want to write a whole storyline,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't blame them at all.
And ripping on Steve Jobs is just way easier.
Yeah, it is. That
So
bald boy.
Pancreas issues, man. Come on.
Oh, man.
yeah, ripping on dead people feels
Yeah,
wrong.
dude.
Look, it's been a while. And he refused treatment, I heard. He didn't actually go through actual cancer treatment. He tried to, like, eat celery and beat it.
Yeah,
You know what's
he's
crazy
an
though?
asshole.
Is that my dad was like on a pretty raw diet of that metal.
Yeah, I've heard
And
of. Yeah,
he
you told me
made
that.
it.
That's fucking absolutely bonkers. And also, I'm not gonna say that Steve Jobs he died, and that's actually really sad of cancer. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's not a cool thing. Total Biscuit, actually, I heard he's in a bad
That's
spot,
rough. Yeah.
and that's like so fucking rough.
That is
and-
sad. Total Biscuit feels like one of those guys who is straddling the line of making his YouTube content like, what the fuck is this game? And I don't know why maybe it's just because he's a giant of that realm, but that feels better to me than storylines of Flatiron.
It's
Maybe it's just
different.
because his character shined through a little more in those videos.
I think that's a big part of it. Like, you have to insert yourself in a way that's not obtrusive, but enough to give it a little bit of spice. And also, if you're just doing it for long enough, you get respect for being the first. That's what Gimmer said. Gimmer was like, you can't hate GR Smash. They're the first ones. He said that at Smash the Record.
To
Me and
start,
Le-
like,
You know why? Because
clipping and
Gimmer
dipping.
was the.
I'm just saying, maybe there is a business decision there, but I also think that
No,
holds
it,
merit.
well, it has nothing to do with the business decision. It's just like
Is it just
Gimmer was
running
one
that-
of those guys.
Was he, though?
He did. He like.
I don't know.
He didn't like. He wasn't like the first, but he was like, I'm gonna stream everything.
He owned his content though.
No, I'm talking
That was
about
his
GR
content.
Smash. Just
Yeah.
actually, literally compilation videos.
Yeah, but like the whole idea of like first to do it, so it's okay.
There's a difference
Oh,
between like
okay.
I
okay,
mean,
I
that's
see
what
what
I'm-
you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
Gimmer was growing the carrots. These guys are jumping the fence and pulling up other people's. you
Yeah.
know?
I mean,
I
what
see-
if,
I see
what if,
what you're
what if
saying,
Gimmer
though.
was sniping spots though? You don't know.
Yeah, but he's at least trying to make the content that he's then going to produce, like put on YouTube.
Is he making content? He's streaming a tournament.
In a way.
Yeah, he is.
Wait, I
It's-
mean, he's not.
That's like saying is me holding a camera just by a sidewalk, like, is that not now my footage?
It now depends on the definition of content, which it needs to be come to and agreed to.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what to call it.
Oh.
I hate saying that we make content. I hate the word content. I've said this before.
Yeah.
I hate so much.
That's why you say
'Cause there's
late
no-
content, because it's ironic.
There's no content on this show.
And that way you gain respect.
This is
from people.
content. People love our content.
No, what I'm
I'm
saying
gonna
is
jump off a bridge.
the irony is that there's no content on this show.
Are you gonna throw up?
I'm gonna throw up. I can't do this.
Don't say that.
Yeah, there just needs to be a
Dirty
better
coming from
word.
your
I want a
mouth.
better word.
Yeah, content is
Someone,
somehow cursed,
please.
right?
It's a cursed word.
But it's not cursed
Our videos.
because of us. It's cursed because of
Material.
other people.
No, it's been cursed. It been had cursed.
Yeah.
No, because there's some content that's just like, yeah, it's like producing
Content implies it's like just popcorn that you eat and you don't give a shit about it and it doesn't matter.
I see.
You,
I think
you,
I have
you,
a
you
d-
fall
I
asleep
think
watching
that's
YouTube.
like
It's
because of
synonymous
our
with
bias
consumable,
now.
correct? That everything is part of this turning
See,
machine.
I
Yeah.
don't think that way.
but
I-
that's like what the word turned into.
Yeah, and I'm saying like that's not our fault.
In a perfect world, you wouldn't have to keep creating content. You could create a piece that would be timeless, right? And
It-
content is this idea that it's topical, you eat it, and then it's gone.
I also think we come from a community where like a lot of people are trying to do content. Some even our friends.
It's like my last name.
Ludwig Ock.
It's like my last name is Dirty Ballsack. But Dirty Ballsack also means something else, even though it's my last
No,
name.
I get that whole.
and
view
I
of
don't
it,
know what to do about
But
it.
our community, content-wise, has always been starved or shitty, and there's like a ton of people trying to do it.
Yes.
So it gets this really like negative connotation, where I think is like
No, dude. I think it's in other
I think
communities
every
too.
gaming, literally all the way down to the bottom, there's a kid who's. You could go type in League of Legends Let's Play videos. There's a kid who's in Silver League filming every game and being like, damn, that was a close one. Like, you just don't see it because all that shit gets pulled to the bottom of the trough.
Dude, we played Fortnite. Dude, were you in the game with this guy?
Oh, yes!
Dude, that guy.
Yes! like just a random 200 sub YouTuber.
We accidentally had squad fill. It was me, Miles, and Noel.
Holy
And
moly.
it was this guy named Chasen Dreamz. Totally gonna shout him out.
Chasen
Dreamz.
Chasen Dreamz
It's
YouTube.
his YouTube.
of course.
And he was just like, he had this actually beautiful like radio. He sounded like AC from Dota.
Yeah.
He was just like this beautiful radio voice, and he was talking to us on the mic. And we were like, at first we were fucking with him, but then we're like, well, let's try to win. And we were just being nice to him. And
He was so vanilla.
he was just so like, I tell you, boys, like, look like we're in for some chop, like that type of thing. And it was just like the most like middle like white brick of like that you just put into a wall and it doesn't ever matter ever. At least that's how it sounded.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's just like a really earnest dude. I'm sub to him on YouTube. I get on my phone Chasen Dreamz
I
notifications.
think he makes videos every day.
Yeah, he's like playing Far Cry 5, like playing Fortnite. His videos getting like tens of views, and I was just like, this guy is out here making content, but why do I love him? Is it because it was the meme of him being in our game and
I
us just
think
like
it's the time
screaming
we
and
had
building
with them.
walls?
And we were also, like, clowning him pretty hard.
Yeah, and he was taking it really
he did.
well.
He
That
actually
was so
fought
sick.
back against some clowning, and we were like, all right, this guy's cool.
Yeah, he can hang.
But at first, before we kind of like, we were like, hey, he was in such a small box.
Just pushing him.
and
He's like, ah.
We were kind of just like razzing him up and just like noogieing him and like pushing him around
Yeah,
a bit.
it was
and then
nothing like malicious.
he started fighting back, and just playfully though, and the things that he was saying like as responses were really funny. But you know what? I think
He's grinding.
our game with him didn't make his YouTube.
He didn't even cut us in. Oh, I also said something. I was like, I work for a little company called Beyond the Summit. And he's just like, what's that?
Yeah, he literally said, what's that?
We all just died laughing. We're like, well, I have no power here.
No, because he was like...
I actually like that a lot. It's just like...
It's hype as fuck.
Yeah, because he was like, he told us that he was doing YouTube stuff. And we were like, oh, you like content creation, huh? And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to do this YouTube thing. And then Slime was like, I actually work for a gaming company. Expecting him to be like, whoa, we'll be on the summit. And he was like, oh, cool, never heard of that, but I'll check it out.
Yeah, dude, it was so money.
That's dope.
But either way, so chasen dreamz is a part of this like ecosystem, and he's on the very bottom. He's not cracking triple digits on his videos.
We're talking about how fucked of a state that is, where there's like years of, like on the car ride over, who was it, Shroud, I think we're talking about?
He streamed for a year with one viewer. Or like,
you tell me that, and each time you say it, I want the tapes. Because I don't believe
straight
it.
says
well,
it.
everyone starts somewhere, so there's like...
He wasn't popular, and he got on a team after being a streaming legend.
Really?
Yeah, and the only reason he was playing CSGO every day was because people were like, hey, you're pretty good at this. And his friend sent him a beta key. Like, he had no aspiration to be an amazing CS player.
Wow.
And every day that he would play, he was like, oh, it's fun to stream, and I got my VODs here that I can archive, and that's like the reason I'm doing it mainly. And then he's like, the bigger my chat got and stuff, it really gave me a lot of encouragement when people would say, wow, that was a good shot, or like, you're in a good position there. And he thought like, he was playing ESCA games because it was just the best thing to stream. It was like the best content, I guess. And then it was just like where he fit in, kind of. Like, it was a place to ladder.
Where did you hear all this? Did he explain it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And
I don't want some secondhand tapes.
Yeah.
And then he said that he kind of just got better and better and just thought, I can beat these guys that I'm playing against on ESCA.
Yeah.
And then got signed up.
That's cool. So it's like start from the bottom,
Yeah.
grind, and one day chasen dreamz is out here.
I think
his name up in a Minecraft tutorial marquee.
I think you need to have something, and I think that it's just the thing about the Shroud thing is it's a success story. There are a lot of people who start with one viewer and end with one viewer, and that's it.
Like a ton. And I think that gives like a negative connotation to content in general, where there's like a ton of people just at the bottom for so long that it almost feels forced.
It's at a point though, because it's like there's a phrase in investing. It's like time in the market is always better than timing the market, which means you have to be there for a while. And it's like, at what point are we just like grandfathering in mediocre people just because they've been doing it for so long?
I watch so many streamers. Like, I'll see a random new game. Oh, here's a guy with 20K. I'll click. He's not attractive. He's not funny.
That's the first thing you say.
He's
not attractive.
He's just like not an attractive person.
Yeah, no, I see what
like,
you're saying.
Physically or otherwise.
Okay, no,
so
we walked all the way back.
And then we went back to where we were. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no,
there's no vibe. Like, I'm never like, I need to know more about this guy.
I clicked on the front page of Twitch years and years ago. It was like 2014. It was man versus game, and people were like, I was like, who is this fucking meatball? This guy's lame.
Yeah.
But there were just subs. There's mad subs and mad people talking sub-only chat, and I was like, well, I guess someone likes this, and it's more than someone, and I'm like, cool.
It's 20,000 people.
I'm going to go ahead and hit the X on that.
Yeah, and sometimes you're waiting for it. You're like, this guy is a turbo dweeb. For the last 10 minutes, he's done nothing but be a turbo dweeb. When's it coming? When's the good part coming? And then you watch for like 20 minutes, and you're like, oh, the good part never comes. I get it now.
But maybe it's just like timing versus time in the market.
But like, say someone like CFG, amazing gameplay, and I think gameplay matters. The thing
being on the top always makes you matter.
But
and that's a different aspect.
He could hit the meme more and be legendary.
Yes.
He could have like 10K subs right now, be the king of Zelda. He already is the king of Zelda, obviously, but like, he could be Twitch famous, turbo, like way more than he already is. And all he'd have to do is take a little bit of time out of his run to be like, Chicken Lady's pretty hot, am I right? Like, just dumb.
Yeah.
All he would have to do is
just get it.
Like, all he would have to do during his runs would be like, hey, like, Clint Stevens, he's like, oh, like, it's like Ice Caverns is meme caverns, and you're allowed to post memes, like walls of text, only for that point, and mods won't ban you.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he comes out of that, the mods just start banning anyone doing it. And it's because he's concentrating so hard on what he has to do that it's like, oh, entertain yourself for a while.
Yeah.
But like, he had so many things throughout his runs. And maybe it's just because he thinks it's funny, and he's probably not doing it to engineer subs. But that kind of culture, like if ZFG had those kind of memes, he would skyrocket.
I don't know Clint Stevens, but I'm going to ask you an honest question. You have to answer in 3 seconds, yes or no. Is Clint Stevens a shill?
No.
That's a yes.
We got a hung jury, boys.
The reason I'm saying no is because he literally like wanted to stop. He's been saying I want to stop streaming and do something else with my life. The money is not a factor to me, and like the reason I started was Zelda.
Yeah, but Mitch Jones has been saying that. I don't know if you guys know him. He's
Mm.
been saying that for years. And
Who's that?
old World of Warcraft player. Got pretty popular on Twitch for a while. Actually, used to be like hilarious and just part of that whole like soda poppin' crew
Oh,
of people.
okay.
So like
Soda really put some people on, huh?
I don't
Like
know if he
Soda
put
Poppin'
Mitch
could,
on.
he
It was
could
just
make
like
you
part of
famous
the
at
same
that,
group.
at that point, though.
Yeah, like Soda Recful or whatever.
On some Twista. and
They've
Kanye.
all been like, I wish
Overnight
I had a
soda.
real job so I could have a real life instead of the streaming life, and they don't want to go.
Do you
They
think it's
don't
just a
wanna-
false narrative?
Yeah, they don't want to leave that. I'm sure that, like
you think it's a fake narrative?
I don't think it's I think they're
Dude.
fine with being a streamer. I think they think they're conflating or whatever the word is, like the idea that they missed out on some things like a normal life from streaming and that they want it more. But I think if they actually experienced it, they'd be like, "Wow, working at McDonald's fucking
Yeah.
sucks."
The problem
yeah.
is that they're invested now to the point where they can't pull out.
Yeah.
Do you want to know? Okay, have you guys seen that episode of Metalocalypse where they get stunt doubles?
Yeah.
And Nathan Explosion's like, I just want to go to the fucking store. Like, I just want to go to be a regular jagoff. I just want to
Yeah.
do that. And it's funny because like that's always sort of been a price of fame
You
for
can't
like
go
ultra
back,
rich
right?
people. Like Drake, he can never go back. He can't.
He will die getting bugged at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, and so it's funny because like with this new era of like tribal internet communities, you can have both of those worlds, and it's actually kind of cool.
Well, you just can't be. You won't be world famous, but you will be.
You get to,
you'll be
you get
revered,
to taste what it's like.
not exalted.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because like you get to feel what it's like to type something in a chat and everyone's like, ah, that guy, which is that's a big cookie for a lot of people.
You don't get the god power though.
But you can also go to the store and just buy a Soylent and be okay, you know, and it's not a fucking hassle.
But then when you're trying to tell the girl at the bar about bad melee and why you should know,
it never works. I don't
Yeah.
know why. No,
What?
I've never done that in my life.
yeah, it's obviously a joke.
I just want to clear that up. How many times
Hey,
have you
we
run
have
that at the bar? We had a lot of fun here, but we don't use our clout to pick up girls at the bar because it doesn't work.
You know
Yeah.
what?
Go
That
to Tinder instead because
that would be amoral. You know, for us to tell
It would, yeah.
to use our superpower. Like, no,
It's unfair.
yeah, it's just too strong. You know, they'd see the tens of thousands of views on YouTube and be unable to contain themselves.
They'd see the tens of views.
dumbasses.
They'd see 16 viewers on a Zelda stream about to hit Spirit Temple at a very low pace.
And she's like not like she's tuned out while you're talking to her. You say Spirit Temple, she's like, buy me a drink.
She's like, "You doing Spirit Hover or are you doing
You got bogan skip?
like we talking first try in?"
We
Bongo?
actually talked about like this is gonna get
what a bizarre.
semi-meta and it's gonna be fucking whack for a second, but the idea that like people who I guess you could say like Soda too, who just like already have it, like the people they bring on
Yeah,
don't pass the like 1 viewer point or the chasen dreamz point of like tens of views.
that's why I'm saying I'm really grateful. Not that I probably would be streaming Zelda attempts all day long anyway, even to 0 viewers, just because this cutscenes are so mind numbing. Mashing through cutscenes alone without anything to look at is so boring, and I think for that reason, like Zelda and streaming go hand in hand. So I'd probably do it.
Speedrunning in
regardless.
general, like speedrunning is
Speedrunning was
typically-
Twitch was built for
It
speedrunning.
was, yeah, that's why it got so hot.
But anyways, what I was saying is we surpassed the like 1 viewer
I
per
get to
year
skip that
mark.
part where I'm talking to nobody.
Yeah,
And even if I'm talking to 10 people, that is so much better for me, just as like an enjoyable activity.
yeah, no, it's big. It's big.
It's like my Warcraft character got to be like 70 levels out of 80 instead of 0.
You bought your character.
Yeah.
you got boosted.
I'm a boosted animal.
Boosted.
Just like,
boosted animal. Do you think when Ninja like goes to the store, it's a fucking problem?
yeah.
Like, but maybe not,
No,
right?
I think kind of. I think
So many people
He's
don't
getting
know
recognized
I think it's a coin flip.
on whether he gets recognized or not.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a hard he gets recognized everywhere he goes, but I think like people would be like, "Is that the person?" And sometimes I think he could walk down the street and no one's gonna bug him. You know?
People
so
might not bug
interesting.
him, but people would be like. Whereas I think
Well-
Drake, people are running up to him being like, say anything.
People get paid to take pictures of Drake. I don't think anyone will ever get paid to take pictures of Ninja
Well, Ninja's
on
having
the
his
street.
He's having his ESCA event at the moment, and in Las Vegas.
Yeah, you're telling me
And
that.
I watched the first few episodes of that actually. And what's really interesting is it's such a new format. They have a room full of, they've got 75 computers or whatever at ESCA. And every person is playing in the same game as Ninja, right? And they're doing
Wow.
like heats. And all of the games have his face on them in terms of like the content. You watch from his perspective until he dies.
Is it on his stream?
I'd assume so.
I'd assume
It
it's,
has to
I'm
be.
assuming it's on
What?
ESCA.
Really?
Yeah.
That it's such a
There's two commentators and they keep referencing, they're like, we're here at ESCA with over 500,000 people watching right now. What a crazy, they keep saying that in the videos.
I
And I'm
hate
like,
that.
I hate that too.
It's like just take it out and stroke it
Yeah.
if that's what you want.
They just want to keep saying it. And it's like, you did a good job.
Like, yeah, you say that in the back room.
And you
The
paid
rum.
Yeah.
enough money
In the
to
back of the room.
like,
Yeah.
and these two dweebs on the mic didn't do shit. It's like, you got the guy. You did it. You paid him a lot.
Yeah, if you want to get these streamers out of their house, these juggernauts like Ninja, it's
But it's
Hugo.
such, it,
Hugo.
Just
Yeah.
like the idea you have to pay him to get him out of the house.
the
to go to
funny,
your
the
tournament.
funny thing is it's such a new content frontier that when he dies, they don't really know what to do, and they're like, "Oh, Ninja, that was an unfortunate fight you had there." I haven't seen him win one yet, and the two that I watched, the same pub wins both of them.
That's interesting. So he's in just like a free for all,
Uh-huh.
and he dies early.
He's making it top 10 in the two I've seen, but
Okay.
he died to a pub who then went on to win it, and if you kill Ninja and win the game, you get like 5,000 plus 2,500 or whatever.
Holy shit.
Or something like that. And then that same pub won the next game. So he's doing what Ninja's supposed to be doing. And they're interviewing him again, and they're like, "Oh, back to back, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, I guess."
He's just like,
And
there's
he's-
like a sniper dot trained on his head. And he's like, I'm sorry, I won't build.
He's just like, they're just like, "Don't pick up the sniper next time, huh?" Like, hey, maybe leave that chug jug. But yeah, it's just really
Ninja wins
and
or you
dude,
don't come home.
Ninja's just like, yeah, my computer's really dropping frames right now, and it almost killed me in that last fight. So I'd like you guys to know that.
Really?
Yeah, he's like,
Got a genre on our hands, boys.
you know, you can see it though, like, and the ESCA guys would are obviously like shaking in their boots, and he's like, not to say that like that fight would have gone differently or anything, but you can see it on his feed that he massively freezes for like 3 seconds or something in a fight.
Interesting. Dude, they just brick Ninja's computer for like 3 seconds to
They're
build
DOSing
hype.
him, dude.
They're DDoSing him
But
to build hype.
he's just like,
From the other room?
Yeah, they're doing it from the other room because then it generates hype if he's in a sticky situation. Now he gets to come back, and that's a Cinderella
It's
story.
like the Hunger Games.
but he's just like, yeah, I don't know where the techs are, but my computer is pretty shitty. Like, he's kind of joning as he's playing, and he's like, that other fight might have gone differently if my computer locks up for like 1 more second.
He should play Melee, dude.
Yeah.
Same shit, dude.
But it just really, when he dies, they're like, "So Ninja, what happened there?" And he's like, kind of got outpositioned and pinched a little bit, you know? It's like they're like, "All right, magic time." And in the Battle Royale format, it's like sometimes two guys just see him at the same time, and he just gets like double sniped and he's dead. And I think the format, it lends itself amazingly to highlight reels, but not what they're trying to do with it in this setting.
People have been scrambling to figure out how to make this battle royale thing work, and
This is like the pilot.
the pre-pilot was the Twitch thing, where it was like a Twitch Battlegrounds event, and it was just Shroud was allowed to stream it
I
on
think
his
I
own
remember
thing.
The
that.
PUBG
yeah.
one?
Yeah. And they also just kept following Shroud the whole time because that's what people want to watch, and Shroud was
Yeah.
getting more viewers than the actual like commentary stream, and it
That's
was
so
like,
weird.
it's just this fragmented like thing now, and I think Twitch loves battle royale, but like esports orgs aren't too hyped on it.
I think
because they're like, what the fuck do we do?
the problem is the game in its Twitch format revolves around superstars, right? You've got Ninja on Fortnite and Mask is his name, I think. Yeah, so there's like 3 juggernauts of each game, and Shroud is the king of PUBG, right? And the real fact is these games include 100 people, and to do that live, you're not going to follow anybody else. You're never going to look at anybody else. So those people are like drones, basically.
They're just red shirts.
Ideally, those people who are like 100 people are there to be farmed. That's what the producers would want.
That's so funny.
I think that's what they think, yeah. It's like, because I think the like average producer is like, oh, this Ninja's the best, so we just put 100 like fodder there,
Drones in
yeah,
there, and he just
it's
slays them all.
and it's good content. But like, that's not how things work in a competitive setting. Like,
Yeah, these games are designed to be volatile, right?
I also
yeah.
wonder where they found the drones. If they're like hitters, I mean,
it's probably just open.
I think was pretty open, yeah.
Because if it's open, then someone's like, I'm gonna get there. I remember long time ago, there was a Dota 2 Open tournament back in the beta, and Bottom was one of the teams that entered with Owie 2000, who
I thought Bottom was the funniest name when it came out.
who went on to win it, and then a bunch of those guys, I think the team got signed, and then these guys that were on that team are still playing Dota professionally today.
Did they change Bottom's model after that team name came out?
I don't think so.
Because that was the whole joke, right?
No, it was like, I think she goes bottom lane.
No, she does, but there were also she just had cakes.
I didn't know that. I never.
Yeah, that's where
the thing is, Miles, I don't see the world through that lens.
Damn.
Literally, I think the team icon might have been Bottom's bottom.
I don't think it was. I think it was just like Marana. Wow.
Yeah. Marana had ultra cakes in the game, and that's why they. I think this might be the reason.
I don't think.
I think you're big wrong.
He's on a tiger, man.
I gotta look this up, dude. Type it into Google, see what's the first thing that comes up. Click images.
Yeah, but I don't know. The thing is, Ninja, when you go to the store and you try to buy carrots, and someone's like, "Hey, are you Ninja?"
So he's in the sweet spot.
Sweet spot. Also, I wonder if my mic's cutting out or it's just.
No, I
It's just,
definitely hear it.
I think it's just
okay,
us.
good. Thank God.
Is it us or is it you?
You guys don't hear me cutting out, do you?
I hear it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I hear it too, but I think it might just be the
It
monitoring.
just did him. Is it the monitoring?
Oh no.
Let's just pretend it will stop happening.
Hell yeah. I don't know.
Content. Ninja, stop making content and you won't get recognized and you can buy your carrots.
I don't think he's got that.
I don't think he's buying carrots.
I don't
I
think
think
wanting
he's
to make
alright.
content is bad. I think forcing content is really bad, you know?
I agree.
'Cause
but-
I think
but
even
they're-
the
how they
goofiest
handle him-
is the message just be cool?
No, because I think even the goofiest motherfucker can make good content. And just be. I think he isn't the goofiest motherfucker, but Travis from League, he used to do a lot of League interviews. I think he did a podcast too. He isn't
Is he a jokester?
kind of. He isn't the most he's just kind of a dork, and that's his shtick. But he's not really he's just a natural dork. He is who he is, and he's just interviewing players and asking questions he would like to know, not just manufactured how was that last game?
Asking questions you would like to know, unless you're a very weird person, is the meta.
Yeah, and he's personable, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are this is what the fans want to hear.
Yeah.
Go.
Say something racy.
Well,
please.
Yeah.
Hotbit, he was the guy. He started doing
yeah.
that. And it's, dude, I don't know. I can't look. It's just
You can't look content in the eye anymore.
I can't look it in the eye because it was never meant to be.
Remember when YouTube was new though, and there was no promise of money? The frontier, the pioneers of big Twitch streaming and big YouTube. Those guys who were just doing it because they loved it. Is that the purest? Can that never be recreated?
I don't think there were that many people. Even if there's no monetary gain, some people were still putting stuff on YouTube because they wanted attention and wanted to be noticed, which is fine, but it's not the most noble pursuit.
I think wanting adoration is a step up from wanting the quiche.
I disagree.
Because at least you're I have a reason that people need to see me, and whereas the quiche is just I'll say anything.
No.
I don't know. I don't think it's. I think you're putting people in two boxes that you're implying these boxes don't have a throughway in which.
Oh, I agree.
It's like a hamster.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But believing that you need to be seen means that you think you have something.
Yes, it does.
But wanting the quiche means you'll just be mango storylines.
Yeah, but thinking you have something isn't necessarily more admirable than wanting cash.
See, what I'm saying is that it can be so much more admirable to be yes, I do this because I want money.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just so interchangeable.
Yeah, both of them. You could take two people from each category, and they could both suck for different reasons.
Yes, and
Equally suck
yeah.
for different
fuck,
reasons.
man, I don't trust these. I don't trust
These-
YouTube.
These goddamn interviewers.
Hey, you know
and
what's
these-
crazy though? We should start going to Twitch parties and shaking hands.
Didn't you guys do
Hey,
that at
what's
Flatiron?
up, Gamer?
Absolutely not. We
You didn't
went.
go to the after party?
They were into the after party way early. They were where the after party was.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, we're getting into the Colorado stories now.
I mean, I'm just saying that's where you went.
I think
And then you
mainly
end up
after
hugging
parties
us
is
up.
such a
The
weird
after
idea.
party though was just it was literally me, Scott, a couple other Colorado guys. That was it, and we didn't even know about the open bar. It was just two bar personnel serving us, and then Apple turns up with Hugs, S2J, SFAT was there, Pew Pew was there,
Kevin
Coach
Durant.
Coach Bobby was there.
I'm playing horse with Drake.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
like,
that's
Steve
but
Curry.
what I'm saying is those were the only people in the room. I didn't look around and be like, oh, it's random guy from the tournament.
Yeah, okay.
And after parties from Smash end up like the after party we went to. Anyone could have gone.
They're so weird.
But-
I don't know about the concept. The Genesis one, girls were like getting harassed.
Yeah.
It was a problem. Like I think I've never heard people be like after party was sick,
Dude, the
bro.
Full Bloom after party. That's what I'm talking about.
The Full Bloom one.
It was pretty much that,
Okay.
but like less people.
That was like an actual. The thing that was cool though because it was like in a bar and it wasn't like, hey guys, this is where the thing is and Red Bull is a thing and it's like it's
This was
weird.
the same. It was an arcade bar. There was less people than there was at the Full Bloom one, and it was just everyone hanging out.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was.
It's just weird when there's like a branded TM after party.
After party.
It's always like,
Come to the after party.
Hey, here's the EDM.
but I don't know. Also,
take the BART to the after party. Or you can Uber.
we're gonna meet up with the Snapchat guys.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. I don't know. Corporations just start digging their TMs into like good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Hey, you had a Bud Light good time
like
tonight.
yeah, and it's like don't tell me that. Well, what's cool about Mangus is that he'll just take that. He'll be like, yeah, whatever. Like it doesn't. I feel like for people like Mango, it's just like the good time is. It doesn't matter if it's TM.
Just
Well-
gotta
And that's-
stroke mango.
And that's really
least once a
hard for
podcast,
some
right?
people to do.
Just lean over,
Just-
slide
and that's-
through the G.
Okay,
Yeah.
I could say somebody else, but it's really
He
hard
hates
for
ICs. You love mango. We get it.
it's hard to do that for some people, myself included.
Yeah, it's because Mango he thinks like 8 hours ahead and loves getting shit faced.
He's just a raging alcoholic. You happy?
I don't know. Is he?
I don't know.
I'm not a
either.
doctor.
I mean, I'm not going to call him that, but if you see him at the after party, he's not going to be sober like you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm not a doctor, and I just love mango. What can I say? Sign the petition.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
tell,
also
tell him to chill the fuck out. How about that?
It's just
if
one
you
more
love
day,
him so
like,
much.
once
do
you
him
get
some
to that
good.
zone, it's just one more day. You're like, here I am.
One more day.
Colorado, man, it was a mistake.
It was.
Like the
So
state as a whole? Or
the incorporation, the Centennial State.
Colorado Corp?
CO
CO
Colorado as
you
a
know what
record label.
You know what Colorado's lame? It's because it's called the Centennial Date, just because it happened to be 100 years after America. That's what they decided to say. Yeah, nice state. Oh, it just fell on it's like nice birthday, nice round
There
number.
isn't any other state that.
Colorado's a Centennial State. I don't know about other states.
What
It
if,
was-
what if there's
What's
multiple?
California? The Bear State?
The
The Twink State?
What's
Why is there a
Twink
bear on
State?
the flag?
No. SoCal is the bear state, and NorCal is the twink state.
Why is there a bear on the flag? They teach you that in school?
California brown bear.
As like the state
I think it's
animal?
like the state animal, and I think the golden poppy is.
Oh.
Yeah.
We all know our state. I actually don't know what
You
Colorado
don't know
is.
shit.
It's the oxen. I don't know.
The Boulder oxen.
What's the state bird of Australia?
Kangaroos?
It's what's the one with the crazy feathers and the really long
Peacocks?
No, it's not that though.
Whatever's the opposite of that.
Yeah, no, it's like that.
Oh, you
A-
actually
a pheasant?
It's on the crest. It's like a kangaroo, and then the other thing is like
It's a kangaroo.
it's a bird of some sort. Some people are against eating kangaroos because it's on our like coat of arms.
Really? Yeah, that
You
makes
guys
sense.
eat kangaroos?
Yeah, dog.
Have you had it?
They're a pest. Yeah,
Oh shit,
you'll have it too if you want.
dude! I'm down to eat some
You
kangaroo.
would eat what? Okay,
They're a pest, bro.
You
They're-
want to download a
They're the
kangaroo?
Rattata of Australia.
kangaroo boxing.
You just get rid of them.
Kangaroo boxing match. You versus a buff ass kangaroo. Loser gets eaten by the winner. Would
Yeah,
you take that fight?
I'm losing. Dude.
Yeah, they're fucking.
Dude, people old Australian meta like
Just
way
kick
back.
Smiles in the chest.
Like
It kills him.
the kicks do kill you.
Just eats him.
The kicks one shot.
Yeah.
They do from
That's what
80
I've heard.
They do from 89 damage to like 125, depending on where they hit you.
Christ.
It's like an AWP shot. It either does like 90 something, or like if it hits you in the body, it's like 170. Headshot. Don't even ask.
What's it taste like?
It's ultra lean. The meat.
Is it like really good for you? I mean, it must be, right?
Well, it's just there's no calories in the thing.
Oh.
There's no meat on it. there's no.
It's like
fat.
completely muscle.
They're very
It's all
fit
muscle, yeah.
animals. Is there people
That's
who like get
gross.
fucking weird and have like a pouch sandwich?
Oh.
Never heard of that. Don't think you can eat the pouch.
Do people eat Joey's?
No.
Okay, also that's my last
Is it
question.
a delicacy?
But
Like veal?
the
Oh.
kangaroos are a problem though. People
I didn't know that actually.
People did used to fight them though.
What about koalas?
Koalas are fine,
What I've heard about koalas.
but they're really dumb though.
Yeah, no, they're
I heard they're vicious.
they're just really nice, and they were never scared of hunters. So hunters would just shoot them in the face, and then the koalas started becoming endangered. That's what I
The
heard.
thing about koalas is when they're on the ground, they're fucked. Like they're just helpless. So they
But
need to
in
be
a tree, they're just.
they need to be in trees all the time. But the food they eat makes them high.
Yeah, eucalyptus has like some weird
So
shit.
they're
in
just
it.
high
Really?
all the
They-
time.
So they're just fucking
They're zooted, dude.
little opium bears.
Yeah, and so
They're on smoko 24/7, dude.
so they can fall, you know. And if they fall, then they die pretty much. Well, they have a high chance of dying.
Yeah.
So the moment they touch the ground, they're just it's life's
Well, I mean,
over for them.
it's not. No,
Well, if they're like
they can get
three-
back up.
Okay.
They can
But
get back up, but like if
but
a
i-
dingo, for
if they're
instance,
if they're in, but like
The
they have to
dingo.
get unlucky, right?
Yeah.
But that's still like they're 100-0 to lose when they're on the floor. But when they're in trees, they're alright.
So like the floor's lava.
Yeah.
Is there volcanoes in Australia?
No.
Are you
I-
sure?
Yeah.
You just said the floor's lava.
Well, if you're a koala.
Bars.
But yeah, we can see some koalas. We can also there's a place near my house where you can go, and it's just this like 1 kilometer square, or maybe a bit longer, maybe 2 kilometer square pen, unsupervised, where you can go and just they're just kangaroos. It's like a safari.
Box kangaroos.
really?
Yeah.
And can you just like
You
throw
don't have to
spears
you don't
at
have to
them?
pay to get in. It's just a fenced off 2 kilometers of bush.
Can I just javelin a kangaroo?
You can try. They're really quick. They're so fast.
Catches the
He's like,
javelin and then uses it against you.
just starts charging me.
The
Like,
weird thing
no!
about them is how quickly they go from like 0 to 100 movement wise.
Are they aggressive?
No, not at all. They would run away before they'd fight.
You must have seen a shitload of kangaroos in your day.
Yeah,
You
I
just
mean,
know so much
but
about them.
only because I've taken people to this place to see them. You know what I
He's the
mean?
kangaroo tour
But
guide.
if you go to like areas out like where the guy who owns Legacy Esports actually
Shouts out. Chasing Dreams,
You
looking for
you
a sponsor.
still sponsored?
still sponsored.
Okay, good.
My man.
Play like garbage, but I'm still sponsored.
Let's go.
Just don't show me brackets.
But when me and Sarah are gonna win doubles at BAM, so it's gonna be fine.
That's a conflict of interest.
I'll commentate that.
He's not legacy.
He's my friend.
Fuck A-side Nick.
But yeah, anyway, out where this guy lives, which is probably like 30 minutes out of town, there's just kangaroos that would be like potentially roaming around.
Do they make sounds?
I
Not
hear they
really.
scream.
Is that like kind of sound?
Yeah, just like
Have
that.
you seen Have you seen the video of the deer getting eaten by a bear in someone's backyard? And it's alive. It's not getting eaten. It's getting bitten. And the bear's just got it tackled. And it sounds like a man screaming.
Yeah, I don't like that. I
It's-
feel like
It's fucking wild.
like deers and like horses even or like zebras when they fucking scream. It's like
blood curdling.
yeah, I don't like that.
I mean, well, you're vegan, so it's
Yeah, but even then, it's just like
it's pretty fucked up.
People used to
the,
fight.
it's the
roos, though.
scream. It's not so much like the animals dying to each other. That's fair game. But like the screams they make, fuck.
That's some real shit.
It's
Yeah.
some real shit, yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I cannot wait to eat kangaroo meat.
You're gonna eat kangaroo meat?
Yeah,
You're a fucking animal.
I would eat
dude.
human meat once, just to see what it's like.
All right, you lost me.
Just to see what it's like. You wouldn't do it.
No.
Natural causes.
No. I'm not gonna go hit up a
Not with it.
morgue and be like,
Well, I'm not gonna like cook it. If I'm
you're
in
gonna
like,
eat it raw.
if I'm in
asked
like,
Chong to
no, I
chef
mean
it
like,
up?
I'm not gonna cook it. You know what I mean? if I'm being
you're not
offered, if
cook
I'm being
your own
offered
food?
the opium like chalice, and they say here you go, and I'm in a tent, and they say also here's some meat from a human being.
So you're gonna smoke opium and then eat human meat.
I probably won't smoke the opium, but yeah, I'll eat the human.
You're gonna
meat.
smoke peyote and eat human meat.
I'm just saying.
You
I
know
would.
what though? I'm worried for my safety once somebody starts offering me human meat. Like the first thing I'm thinking of is like, should I eat this or not? I'm like hitting the legs.
Yeah, but like,
yeah, it's like, am I next?
Yeah.
you're probably not next because like you don't waste food.
So is this just a nice upper class restaurant where it's like, oh no, we only kill homeless people. Don't worry. Like what you're eating now is a man of much lower socioeconomic
Actually,
stature than you.
An upscale man-eating restaurant would be like executives that they trapped and killed, like powerful
Executives?
people.
No.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No, I think it would be
You
like
you want
weird
you want to eat
socioeconomic
Drake's
thing.
arm. You don't want to
No.
eat
No, I
Hobo
don't.
Joe.
No, I don't want to eat Drake's arm. I don't want to eat.
I want to
either,
eat Drake's
I
arm.
don't want to eat either of their arms. First off.
Yeah, because you're vegan.
Yeah.
No, what it would be is like
You're right.
people trafficking. It'd just be like, yeah, this is like such and such from Russia.
How about if you on your driver's license, you have organ donor and you also have meat donor?
Would you eat Sora's arm?
Yeah.
Your friend Sora.
Yeah, if he had the emblem
his-
on his driver's license,
That's his teammate.
I'd eat your guys' meat.
Yeah, you would.
Fucking got him, dude.
Get him, dude.
Fucking idiot.
No wonder he sleeps in a closet. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Fair. No. What I was saying was I would want to eat if I go to an upscale French restaurant and it's like I just want to eat that upscale person,
Like escargot?
like Elon Musk.
Isn't it?
Whoa,
I'm not eating anyone whose last name is Musk. I'll tell you that
Good
right
point.
now.
It's a huge point.
Elon.
Elon? That's a fake name.
I
He
wanna see-
made up his own
I
goddamn
want to see
name.
that birth certificate.
Yeah.
He's born in Hawaii.
Any more melee shit to talk
No,
about?
wait. What was my callback? My name was Dirty Ballsack. Would you eat a guy's named Dirty Ballsack? Arm.
I'm not eating a guy's arm. I'm not doing it.
Period. You're weird.
You guys are just not exploratory with your bodies and your minds, and I'm out here.
I don't think you're that exploratory. I think you're just fucked up in the head.
I would just
think
say I would
watching
do
that
it once.
I think watching that cow die
That was big.
brought you here.
That was a huge
I think
moment.
if we butterfly effect all the way back to there,
I'd be in a
Where
different
was
spot.
this?
yeah.
I think I've told this on the podcast before, but when
Like-
I was like 14, my friend lived on a ranch and they had livestock,
Yeah.
and his dad and another guy, I think his name was Miguel, they took a 22.
It was sword derailed.
No! They took a 22 and they shot a pig in the head and it died.
They
and
took
it was
a 22 and they shot one of Lauren's artworks.
No!
No!
And Miguel was mad.
Yeah.
But they shot it and then it started seizing up and squealing and then they put it down and then they hung it upside down and they what do you call it? They butchered it.
Yeah.
Slaughtered it.
And then we just watched. Me and my friend, it was his dad. We just watched this all happen and all the shit, and we just like didn't talk to each other for the rest of the day. Like we were just hanging out all day, just kind of in silence.
I think that like worsens that whole situation.
I think so too, yeah. But we were just like,
How could you even
we were just so
comprehend?
drained
Yeah.
emotionally. But yeah, that happened, and I think that's a great point. I think if that doesn't happen, we just go inside and play Knights of the Old Republic instead. Everything's okay.
And you don't have a bloodlust for human
Or
meat.
human meat.
One
Send me your meat, guys. Just
on,
chop off
on
something.
Twitter
On
in the DM.
No,
send them your
not
meat.
again.
How many slime on the scenes do we have to make until there's a super fan big enough to cut off a pinky?
Honestly, I would respect that a lot.
What?
But please don't do it.
No.
Because that's so hype.
Don't say that because
Yeah, but it's hype.
It's not hype.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's not hype.
Yes, it is.
If someone's pinky arrives in a cold like
as long as it's
a
theirs.
frozen ice,
That's
If
box-
the
you're sending me
ultimate big-
someone else's pinky, that's fucked up, and I don't condone it.
That's
You
the
send me your own pinky, that's hype.
so they need a DNA test along with the pinky they send you, and then you're okay with it.
Yes.
You're okay with it.
Yes. That's so funny. And it's like, man, you really do like slime
That's
on the scene.
that's the ultimate big fan.
It's the
That's
only
like
way to be
walking
a
back
real fan.
Yeah, but
everything
that's
you've
like
ever said.
you go past like because a big fan like the nomenclature that we started is like someone who's just kind of there for surface level and treats you like something more than a person.
he's not a real fan.
No, less than a person, but more of an idea. And
Only
that's
real fans would cut off their pinkies.
but yeah,
for
what
me.
I'm saying is that someone who cut off their pinky, there's no bullshit there. They are about it. They're not looking for a picture to put on their Facebook for 2 weeks with Axe, whatever. They're my blood of my blood. And that's so hype. I would never do that. But
Just saying.
I
Who
would
would you
respect-
do that for?
maybe Josh Homme,
Why has he got Harmy in his name?
because he's a Homme.
It's actually just Hom, I think.
It's not, yeah. I used to think that. And then
Not home.
it's not home.
Here we are standing.
Clint
for him.
Stevens. I'm just gonna throw.
Clint Stevens?
I just like what Clint Stevens does. But actually, you know
What
what?
about ZFG?
I don't watch much Clint Stevens anymore because he just Let's Plays now, and I'm not about it.
Who would you send a pinky to?
Nobody. That's fucked.
Who would you send a pinky to, Dawson?
Maybe Winona.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
that's hype, right?
Yeah.
Because
You
you're
wouldn't
it's
actually do it. You literally just have the cleaver and you're like,
but your pinky's gone, and
It's
you're
gone
you're at a
forever.
bar like 3 years later, and people are like, what the fuck happened to your hand? He's like, I cut it off and sent it to Winona Ryder.
Yeah, that's sick in hindsight.
no,
so
then they're
funny.
calling
But
the
saying-
police.
But saying like, oh yeah, there was this guy doing YouTube videos where he would interview Melee players. That sounds whack.
Yeah, that would be pretty fucked up. That's not a play,
Yeah.
but I would still appreciate it.
He shows the guy next to him Slime on the scene, and he's like, "Where's the cleaver, dog?
Yeah.
I'm trying to send mine too. This guy's the best."
That's like going to be the new headline. Slime hates all his fans except the ones that sacrifice their flesh and blood
Everyone
and
at the
bone.
bar just decides that it's the play when they get it up on the big TV.
It's just like it's like a
I don't know what this melee thing
it's
is.
like a
but
live stream of me just taking out a plastic bag full of pinkies, and I'm just like, oh,
Eating 'em.
nice, yeah.
Social eating stream. All the fans pinkies.
like Cheetos.
That's the content you need.
That would be so fucking wild, and you know it.
Is that even against
It's against
Probably,
everything.
yeah.
Tio?
It's
Really?
like gore.
Is it
It's
gore?
like violence.
If you cook it and it doesn't look like a pinky anymore, are we chill?
I think I can bamboozle Twitch.
You can bamboozle.
Yeah.
You don't have to say it. Just
You
like,
have to
I mean,
de-finger
you're a
it.
got
Sending-
something from the fans.
Jesus Christ.
Just blood.
Slime on the scene mukbang.
Oh my God. All right. On that note, shall we take this podcast into the bedroom,
What does that mean?
gentlemen? Let me pull up the
The
chat.
questions.
Yeah, whatever that. Yeah.
I want to
So
get this.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it right here, and none of us are gonna be on our phones.
I wasn't gonna say anything about the phones.
But I think that's what we should do.
You're talking about conversations we had off the podcast, and I don't like it.
What? No, we talked about that on the podcast.
No, we didn't.
I've complained about the phones live.
You complain about everything.
All right.
So do
Me.
I. So do I.
Me.
So do I.
All right.
Ice climbers.
We're complainers on this show. We
Can you
always
guys
have
see?
it. All right.
Yeah.
Is this no? That's you. You
They're
sucked that
still.
down. You sucked that one down.
I need to tell the story of my journey home from Colorado also.
I can't read.
Donnie's mom has complained about the phones.
It's true. She has.
Sorry.
That's actually one I feel really bad about.
She says the phones are antisocial.
Do you think Hugo being on the podcast and on Mango Stream is sus in terms of him getting in the summit?
No. I think we'd be
No.
pretty conceited to say we got him in.
Yeah, that's our 300 viewers in a fucking darkened studio where he showed up late and ate burritos.
Tamales.
I don't
Tamales.
I don't think that was the push that really got him in. So, it's Steph Curry, not Steve Curry. I know. That was being ironic, Ludwig.
Dumbass
Do
Ludwig.
you think Swifty misses Pinky? I don't know what that means.
Say that again.
Have you ever held a koala?
No.
You ever hug a koala?
No.
Do you have love in your heart for anything?
I like koalas, but
Has a koala
to get
ever
close to
hugged you?
them,
They got
need
claws,
to be
right.
sedated. It's
They got
bad
claw-
for them.
yeah. Well, they're always sedated, right? Because they're all
But
zooted off
the
the
thing
goop.
is, though, I don't know how. Like in wildlife sanctuaries, you can hold them somehow, but I think that's fucked.
Because don't they have?
They're really if they
They're
get
dangerous.
their claws are really sharp.
Yeah. Just shred.
I heard
you.
they're actually
would shred you.
vicious.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
vicious because that's all they have, dude.
Oh boy. Is there gonna be another Mario Party vid? Oh, I should explain this. In the airport on the way back
Oh,
with Nick Yingling,
so sick.
we were in the TSA line, and the Denver TSA line is always massively long.
You got to ride
Really?
Nick Yingling to the airport?
Yeah, we hung out the whole time. We hung out till it was time for him to go. It was great.
He lost his phone.
By the way,
In the
if I
dumbest
had the if real quick, I
No,
had a,
we'll tell a story.
okay.
Are we questioning or are we telling stories?
Yeah, sorry. So, we're in the TSA line, and we're walking, and it's like this big zigzag thing, and I'm walking, and some guy's like, "Hey, Slime," and I don't know him, and I turn, I'm like, "Oh," immediately in my mind, I'm running calculation. Oh, he's like, "I really appreciate," and I'm running calculation. He didn't pause like this, but it was like commentary, videos, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's like, "I really appreciate the Mario Party video," and I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Thank you. That really does mean a lot." And he's like walking by, and we're walking this way, so it's like ships in the night, right? And at that moment, I just started thinking all day in the airport. I was like, that's the only time I've ever just been so proud.
You've ever accepted a compliment in your life?
I guess, yeah. It's like, but it led me to like this weird rabbit hole of like the things I do and how I feel about them and the effort I put in. And what I came to the conclusion was that like Mario Party League was just like,
Mario Party League is the best thing we've ever done.
yeah, it just feels so honest and beautiful. And I'm sure it's how you feel when you do actually cool stuff like music, right?
No.
Veil.
No. Don't bring that up.
Don't say that name.
Don't say that up. Don't.
But so I mean, because I've always thought a podcast is like people like love the podcast. I'm like, we're just talking, right? I accept that compliment. I think that's so great that you guys like it. But nothing ever made me feel that like MPL did. Do you have something like that, or have you not? Found it yet?
I think anyone can talk on a show, but what we've cooked up with MPL is like strictly ours.
It's just beautiful.
But it's also like we're pioneering. It's not just another Melee stream or another commentary thing. We've taken something and we've like made our own Melee.
I'm a pioneer. That's what I wanted to say. You knew I wanted to say it, huh?
Yeah, because you looked at me like a dumb idiot.
You know what I mean though? It's like finally for once something is without us creating the game ourselves and then playing it as original as it can be.
That's exactly it. And I never really considered how much originality just meant to me because I was never able to find it because I'm bad at finding it. I'm a better editor than I am a writer, and that's just I think a lot of writers are like that.
Yeah. I think on paper you're really, really funny. Like given enough time, you can produce something funny.
Yeah.
I think if you mine us hard enough.
If I minus?
If you mine us hard enough.
Via appropriation of everybody you know and amalgamating that.
I think you can make something
That's
funny.
been my entire life.
Yeah, we
it's
know.
Just,
we
it's
know.
just putting everything into this like cauldron and like
cooking it up, and it cooks up pretty well.
Synthesizing it into what is called me, and that's
what we've all done, really, right?
That's like
I
you
know,
are
but like sometimes
a victim of your influences.
Sometimes with
you know?
MPL, it feel like MPL is just reskinned World Series of Dice. That's literally what it is.
I don't know what World Series of Dice is.
It's a sketch from
Dave
Chappelle's show,
yeah.
where they have serious commentators,
which I've thought about, like during when I was watching. I was like, this definitely has like a.
The thing is, though, no, because
relax.
First off, the Dave Chappelle skit, infinitely better than MPL.
I don't want to hear that. That's not true.
It depends on how you measure it, but you're both right.
What we have is a game of skill. All right.
No, World Series of Dice. It was like hood dudes throwing dice, and it's
that
like
is-
really
it's a
funny.
joke.
Yeah, it's really.
I
Yeah.
thought it was just like a competitive dice
It's
thing.
Dave Chappelle, the comedian. He's
Yeah.
not going to enter into the foray of competitive dice.
Ashley Larry is an actual person.
Put some lotion on.
I fucking love.
Yeah.
Put those cameras in some boxes. But yeah, it was like a big watershed moment, and I was just really happy to, for one, value that, and also turn around and value everything else to an extent. Because like, I remember once you said, you were like, you can't like,
You don't get to decide what other people like.
exactly,
Yeah.
and I'm coming around to that, and that's fair, and it makes sense, and I should feel better about things than feeling jaded and fucked up. Anyway. My heart's big. I'm a Mario Party leaguer, and I'm coming.
MPL is like this perfect blend of friendship, esports, skill, and luck.
Yeah, it is. It's so great. Anyway, I heard somewhere that most koalas have chlamydia. Opinions on that? Like, I think that's actually true.
Well, there you go. Easily curable these days, so lucky for the
It's
koalas.
true, yeah. If they're going to have anything. What do you think of teams?
They just get high all day and have chlamydia. They're just like the average like
Person.
mid-20s
Yeah,
burnout.
that's like.
Opinions on Left and Sweets today. Unfortunately, I was long day and I did not see tweets.
I
What did you
haven't
do?
seen
seen it. Yeah.
We're so
Where are the
we're,
tapes?
we're shit
Give us the
podcasters.
tapes. Actually, I haven't watched a Melee tournament.
The Minji situation. I'm curious about Dawson's opinion on it. You know the Minji situation?
What do you think my?
Yeah, like.
Get that ass
Listen,
back.
there's an idea. It's like if you have to write a 15-page table of contents, like Google Doc, to tell people that you're not an asshole or you're not sus.
You're probably an asshole and sus.
And I don't like. That's all I can see from my.
And at that point,
perspective.
how are you defending it? Like, you have to be so warped, right?
Yeah, but apparently people are registering for the tournament, and people are like, "That's fucked up. You shouldn't go to that tournament." Which is like,
What?
I don't know.
Can you guys fill me in?
Minji was a guy who got banned from Michigan.
Yes.
And I feel dirty even talking because it's like people like this, they just want to be talked about. I feel
Okay.
like. But
He's one of those guys.
He's the guy that complained about the whole social climber situation, but he was also doing like sus shit at tournaments, and people just got fed up. So he got banned.
Did he get moved on from that tweet?
yeah, I think so. I think that was what did it.
Holy.
I don't know the whole situation, by the way.
All I'm saying is, if they were suddenly just like, hey, this guy's sus because he voiced his opinion, like there has to be some other shit.
No,
right?
there was other shit.
Oh, okay.
He
I
was
mean,
like
if he's
shitty at tournaments as a TO.
Oh,
Like
I'm just saying, like, if it just finally comes to like all of these like allegations get made after that tweet, that's on some Illuminati shit.
no, it was like
This
it
was
like
a
a
known,
straw that broke the
This
camel's
was like
back.
a known problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
My bad. It's G like grease. It's Mingy.
whatever.
Who cares?
A
Fuck 'em.
name is a name. Oh, someone's roasting Dr. Battle for getting banned. And,
Oh.
In Westpol's chat,
Westpol's
still
chat.
roasting him about that. It's a classic roast.
Is the box allowed in MPL?
No,
Absolutely not.
obviously not. You play on a cube controller. None of this.
You know how insane mashing would be
Yeah,
on
that's
the
what I
box?
was saying, dude.
Just like in Melee,
You just be able to
it's
do this.
insane and broken.
Do you think a choker can get more clutch, or are winners born winners?
I think winners are for the most part born winners.
Is SFAT a choker that made it?
Yeah, you can overcome it, but it'll always be your Achilles heel, and you can get better, but it will never be gone. Like honestly, I believe
I
that you
agree
can.
with that. I think.
You think you can patch it over and you can carry along with it, and you can do great with it.
I don't like the exact phrasing "born a winner." I think it's like a very sensitive set of situations when you're very young
That happens to you when you're young.
that
yeah.
turns you into a winner
I
or
think
whatever you
I
want to
think
call
you
it.
get rewarded for fearlessness young, whatever that might be.
I think so. Well, it's so like growing up from those like from baby to like middle school is this like if I ever had a kid, I'd be like, God, I hope you make it, because like anything could happen.
You can't
The
cook them up.
smallest
You
thing.
can't cook them up right.
Yeah, the smallest thing can happen at school. I'm not even there, and it's like he's thinks one way his entire life about something.
And all you
Or
can
her life.
He's anti-vax years later
It's
because
just
Yeah,
of
it's
the
just
one.
like
boy.
fuck.
Yeah. I didn't get vaccinated and I'm fine.
Yeah, and it's
I
it's like
believe you, Timmy. And then
that's so
all
spooky.
you can do is set a good example, right?
That's true. There's also a phrase. It's kind of cheesy, but it's like a child can only learn what you express. Like they can only pick up what you yourself do.
Yeah.
So if you never like yas a controller because you're mad, that child's not going to do that because it just
Yeah,
doesn't.
yeah.
But I don't know. That for some reason made me think about parenting.
you have one on the way, dude. You okay?
I hope not. I went to go to the CVS and make sure. Do kangaroos have huge hogs or little baby hogs?
I don't know. Probably big hogs.
Probably, I would say.
Just because the girl kangaroos are real big, they're gonna need something there.
Are you born a puff main or are you bullied into it, Dawson?
I was born a puff man dog.
I've asked him a couple times, like, why puff?
Ken asked me outside.
Really?
Yeah. Gave
That's
him
so
the same
funny.
answer.
And it's just like
It was perfect because he asked me why puff, and I just rested like his chin was like that. It was sick. And then I was just like, I move cool.
yeah. That's
The
generally
movement
the
is
answer.
all flowy and nice. It's pretty. It looks pretty. Puff movement looks pretty. It mimics like what Fox could do on the ground to me, just in the air and.
I think the puff is really unique, and I see why some people like that.
I love when Puff there's a shield and Puff is just doing this in the air. That's so sick.
Puff shield pressure when she's like on you and just like camping on your face.
You're just like,
sick.
I'm
Yeah.
so scared.
Like the
Stop it.
back air waveland, like
I understand why people choose
Shit,
puff,
I
but
do.
not peach.
Ken the King of Smash? No, Ken
no.
Ken Chen.
That guy's washed, dude. Come on. You think I'd
Do you
become
think that
dead
guy's on
talking
the
to that
setup
guy?
right now?
Guys, when I just did that did my mic cut out?
It cut out in my
I'm
ear.
asking the chat because if that sucks if it does. But
Yeah, because it's been happening.
kangaroos have two
the whole time.
vaginas, I believe it. Someone said, "Can you please hold up the mask next to Dawson?"
This one?
You want the eyes wide shut mask? I don't know.
I don't know. You gotta
It's
be
aging.
specific.
Oh, don't worry about it,
they
it's
want
aging.
that mask.
It's aging. This one?
It didn't
Yeah.
cut. Oh,
I
thank
think
God.
it's this one.
Because it's been cutting in our ears.
It might just be the mixer then.
Yeah, I think it is.
So I guess when is the next MPL? We didn't really answer that question.
That's a question that's getting asked a lot these days.
I think our goal is to shoot at least one more
Can
set.
we do it next week? Next weekend? That's the only chance.
It's before Summit.
That's before Summit.
But we could try.
We only have one weekend after Summit, or no weekends after
We
Summit.
also got to shoot the skate video.
I can't skate now.
You'll be in it, young man.
I want to be in it. I really wanted to skate. Honestly, this was the fattiest L.
Yeah, it was pretty much a huge bummer. But we're gonna try to do one before Miles leaves. At least a set, and
Yeah,
after that
yeah.
we don't know. But it's just something that's we're really
We just really
Really
wanted
excited.
to work, guys.
Can you spin one of the hats? Funny story. I was wearing one of these hats today, and I was just running out to my car in the office, and as you run, it spins,
Yeah,
and
that's
it
what
like
it's
spins
supposed to do.
faster the
That
faster
hat
you
was
run.
made for you.
It's dude, these hats fuck me up comedically. It's this and tiny cowboy hats. There's a piece of my brain that can't handle it. I don't know why.
Tiny cowboy hats is really funny.
They're pretty good, right? There was an episode of Degrassi. There was a Halloween episode, I believe. It just cuts. There's something really serious happens, and it cuts to
Spinner, yeah.
wearing a tiny cowboy hat, and I died. I died that day, and I was reborn. And it was beautiful.
Degrassi's so sick, dude.
Yeah, because it's got Drake.
Wait, did you say Degrassi's so sick?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading chat. I love Degrassi.
That was good.
On your phone.
Yeah.
I love Degrassi so much. I'm a lore master.
Yeah.
I once met a girl on Tinder who was as big of a lore master. Didn't work out, but
It
was huge.
that hurts.
It does hurt.
That hurts like me, like hearing that I was like, oh, I wish that would have. We don't have to talk about
Didn't
it.
work
We
out.
can talk about it
It's
later.
all right. We
what
will
went
talk about it
wrong?
later. Just sometimes they just don't like you in the same way.
Damn.
Yeah. But you know what?
You know what? I was thinking, I'm only on Tinder tonight. That's hype. Now I'm going to find my Degrassi fan. But then I remembered I fucking lost my phone. And some guy's probably trying to brute force it right now to get on my Venmo.
Did you call Frontier today? Say yes.
I can't call them because
You're
I
a
don't
goddamn
I
idiot.
messaged them on their messaging system. You can't call them. They won't take your call.
Did you go on the internet?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Do we
it's
have
all
the internet?
automated, and you know they're not giving me shit back. But I know that phone was in the airport, and I don't. You know what my theory is? Is that everybody in an airport has afforded a plane ticket.
What
So
do you?
Everybody in that part of the airport at the gates has afforded a plane ticket.
Yes.
So the demographics are much more likely to hand it back than other places.
Let me tell you something, Miles. If you don't remember, our round trip ticket to Colorado was $80.
But that's probably
Was
as
it
low
really?
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why we went.
we wouldn't have gone.
How?
If it was more
Super
expensive.
cheap. I don't know. Just
Does Colorado suck that bad?
no.
You know what? I love Colorado while I'm there, and I'm generally always hammered when I'm saying it. But
No, you know what's funny? We got off the plane, and it was like this shit flight. It was late. We were like, now we have to Uber over to the place because the buses don't run to Boulder anymore. And we're just
oh my
like,
god, dude, the story about Chroma.
and we're just having a shit time. Oh yeah. And so we call our Lyft, actually. Shout outs to Mike, and I wasn't looking at it.
He was
Yeah, for a second.
snitch.
Jesus.
And so we get into this
I'm gonna look down.
extended cab F-150, and God's Plan is playing, and it's warm, and the guy is super nice, and it was just like,
I want to go back there, dude.
I want to live in that. It was just like the nicest feeling to a shit sort of series of events.
Anthony was like further than an arm's reach away from me in this car.
In
This
a
car was so
in a
wide.
giant truck, and also it was snowing, so he said to us, he's like, yeah, even if it does snow, I got a big truck and we're gonna be all right.
He
And I
said
was
we
like-
were gonna be all right.
I was like, yeah, we are. Thank you so much. I gave him a fatty tip straight from my PayPal account. Thanks, Twitch subs. It does. It goes right into my PayPal, and I use it to pay
It's
for
just
Lyft.
Uber money. Yeah.
Which
makes
is cool
sense.
because it's like tournaments, so you kind of are paying to see slime more. So at
You're just
tournaments.
Ubering to girls that you meet on Tinder's
That's
house.
just-
I don't do that. I
disgusting.
drive myself. I'm so funny on dates.
Anyway.
With your
I believe that you're funny on dates, dude. We can keep telling the story. So, anyway, we're getting called. The group chat is exploding with, oh my god, Jesus Christ. And there's this lengthy message from the woman who lives at the Airbnb. Like, you're going to see a boat, you want to turn left, and there's going to be a red car. At the red car, you want to see the tree. And at the tree, you want to do a 180 and
Yeah.
no-scope the guy next to you.
Yeah.
And then
It's pretty convoluted instructions.
so there was a bunch of instructions, and apparently Chrome and Yingling nearly died going in. right across the road from the place it's at, there's a white Subaru.
Yeah, there was like a very similar situation across the street from the actual Airbnb. And so they just naturally thought, this must be the place. And apparently they knocked on some guy's door, and he, I don't, did he have the strap?
He said he was going to start shooting.
Yeah. And I said, welcome to Colorado, boys. Even in a nice town like Boulder. But yeah, so they basically were threatened. They were like trying to explain the situation, and he's like, why are you still here? And he's like, all right, yeah, gonna leave.
You can imagine Chroma being like, no, but sir, like, we mean you no harm. And the guy's just like, I mean
Yeah.
you harm if you're here for another 5 minutes.
You made a joke that like he reached for the strap, but he didn't have it on him, and he's like,
Yeah.
not this time. Like,
Yeah.
you guys got lucky, but you seriously better go right now. It's
Yeah.
like, I didn't have the MF tool on me.
So anyway, we get there. We see the white Subaru. We make jokes about how we could get our life ended right now if we want.
Yeah.
We get to the Airbnb. We have a pretty good time, honestly.
Great.
Get to bed at
Are you
about
guys
3.
anti-hotel?
It's
No.
cheaper.
I know it's cheaper, but like
I'm not anti-hotel.
hotel culture is like sick. I feel.
No,
I love hotels.
What?
I love hotels, but our Airbnb was just like actually super great, and sometimes that's how it goes.
You guys are effed.
What's wrong with hotels?
You stay in the comfort of somebody's
This is a
house.
Dawson take, and this is not a Dawson take.
I was at a Dawson.
You know what
Because
Hey,
it's a
just-
business.
You know what hotels remind me of when I'm with Smashes? I'm on the floor. I'm using a towel as a blanket. Some dumb fuck in the
What
room
was your
wants to run the,
Genesis Airbnb?
Some guy wants to run the aircon at a clean 70, even though he's just like, yeah, I just like sleeping cold. I'm like, well, you're not the only one in the room, my man. There's
Our Genesis
there's
Airbnb was
15
an
of us.
abandoned brothel,
Yeah. So
which
What?
was hype. Yeah.
Oh, this time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yes,
Genesis.
yeah. Well, you went to Oakland. That's a mistake.
No, it was sick.
That is cool.
Yeah.
what?
there was a window that watches into the bathroom, and we called it the viewing window.
That is kind of strange.
Yeah, and it was really fun.
You know, a lot of hotels in Hong Kong and Asian countries have the whole bathroom is just a glass room. You can see into it completely from the main room, and it's just like a glass panel that you go through, and it's to make the room look bigger.
Oh.
Because you're looking in the mirror. It's like your bed is just one glass wall away from that mirror, and then this whole room appears bigger. You know.
in the Wilshire Grand building, I might have mentioned this before, but it's the newest tallest building in downtown LA. I was working in downtown LA when they finished it, and the buzz in the cafeteria was that
Pissing wall.
yeah, in the 74th floor, the bathrooms, it's just a big window that you piss on, and you can overlook all of LA while you're just pissing and pee on it.
Did you go up
basically.
there?
Yeah, I took friends up there. It was awesome. It's like a bar. We should go.
Is there a wall?
A what?
Is
A
there a
wall.
wall?
Like that you pee on?
No. Is there a wall between the piers?
Yes.
America.
American-
they
we
built-
should go though.
They
It'll
built
be
the
really fun.
greatest pee wall of all time, and they're putting walls in between you and your boys.
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't know. I would like nothing more. Also, people go in and out of that bathroom to take pictures, and you walk in and there's always some dude with his phone. He kind of puts it away like he's ashamed.
Yeah.
You're just like, no, bro, I'm here for that too. It's
Yeah,
fine. And he
it's
just
cool.
smiles and brings it back up.
But he's like misinterprets it and just starts trying to snap photos of your hole.
Yeah, he just starts taking his pants off in front of you, like, whoa.
Whoa, that's not what I was saying was fine, dude. Yeah. Anyway, we get there. We have what, 4 hours, 5 hours sleep. 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
or
it's
so.
pretty bad.
And we get up. We go to the tournament. We have a pretty good day at the tournament.
Yep.
And then you guys, after top 8, I imagine you went home, played checkers with Yingling.
We
Sat around the fire, ate s'mores with Mikey,
yeah,
and said, "High five, everyone!
we got
Great
some
trip."
pizza. We hung out with Anti a little bit at the pizza place. Pretty funny guy.
Oh.
What can I say? Hey, I've been saying for a couple podcasts now, I'm coming around.
Hey, Dawson,
He is kind of weird to women, though.
anti?
Yeah,
Yeah,
On
he's,
Twitter.
he's
You
on
know who
that,
else
like,
is? EE, and you're fine with that person.
I think it's funny.
That's the hottest take.
I like E. I think he's cool.
This table's full of hot takes, dude.
All I'm saying is, if EE was any different than he is, like the exact person that he is, he'd be so sus. Like
I think
you
he's
take
sus
him.
as the exact person
I think
that he
he's
is.
sus too, but I think you take him any step in any of the directions he's going in, and he's sus.
I don't think
Like
so.
he can't take a step.
I think he's fine
I think SFAT's better than Mango.
as a player.
Yeah.
Is that
I'm
what you're?
referencing his-
Is you
his
just
take,
yeah? Okay, all right. Look, you guys don't like him. I think he's great, and he is.
I
All
can't.
right. Well,
Fuck off.
as you and Mikey are having schmores and sitting around going,
How could you have schmore nothing?
isn't life great?
Put the mallow on the gram.
My body is slowly shutting down as I'm singing, I'll be there when your heart stops beating at the bar with the waitress. She's been hitting on me for like a solid hour at this point. I'm belligerent and just, I'm kind of with it, but not really. She's just, the Australian stick is just carrying me. Just absolutely carrying me. I've been doing nothing but ask this girl about, she's got a kid. I'm asking her about the kid, trying to bum a smoke off her, talking to her about old punk music, which she likes as well.
Is my American accent gonna carry me?
I don't know. I hope so.
Is that
you're gonna have very few opportunities because we're gonna be just the way that week is gonna work out. We're gonna be like traveling down the coast in a car and then
Yeah,
at a
that's true.
tournament for 3 days.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
that's
On a night out, there's it's gonna be very dicey. But anyway, this is
Hell
this
yeah.
is one of the girls that I've met who is turbo into it for some reason. And we're also in bumfuck nowhere. She's bored because it's a gaming bar and there's like nothing going on. So she's trying to have a conversation with me and Scott. She's pretty funny. And honestly, she's cute. But at that point, all I'm caring about is getting fucking shorsed.
yes.
And me and Scott are halfway on our way there. So we're just singing along. She's playing like classic pop punk hits. We're loving it. And the whole crew rolls through. Like all of those other guys that I was saying got there later. And, you know, I'm telling S-Fat he's the greatest Fox of all time. I'm telling Pew Pew good job on third. Telling Bobby that he's a good coach, unlike other coaches. You know, no, I'm
Taking
on,
down the picture.
Tired of this, dude.
yeah. I'm on a tip. Anyway, yeah, the night wraps up. I don't remember. I remember being outside. I remember being inside. There's probably about an hour that's missing for me. And we get in a car. I don't remember this car ride either. But when I'm turbo hammered, car rides do me in. And I think this was like a 20-minute car ride back to this guy's house. And so I get there and I'm not feeling good. I remember this guy's house, but at this point I know that I have a flight. And that's all I'm thinking about is I got to be at the airport, but I'm so tired because I've been doing nothing but drink for like the last 6 or 7 hours, and the car ride has done me in. I'm like about to be throw up sick, which I haven't been throw up drunk in like 2.5 years. So at this point I'm like done for, and I know I have a flight. My phone's dead, and I don't know where I am. I'm somewhere near Westminster.
Okay.
Because that's where the after party was.
Yeah.
So
It was actually pretty far from the venue. and I
It
was,
was,
like, I
yeah.
don't want to go there.
it was a far trip. But I knew I had to contact you, and I knew I was going to have to take an Uber. So I start charging my phone, and I'm just so hammered. I'm sitting in a chair, and I know that I can't go to sleep. Scott's passed out with a blanket over his head on a couch, and I just keep waking him up to ask him questions about the layout of the house or random stuff. And like I don't remember my way around because I'm that hammered. But I walk into a guy's room and he's like, "Oh hey man, what's up?" And I try to play it off. I'm like, "Oh hey, just checking if you were still up, you know," and then close the door. But like I thought it was the bathroom, straight up. And so I don't know if I was throwing up outside, but I definitely threw up in the toilet and flushed it. Came back out in the living room. I got vomit like on my shirt. I changed my shirt, changed into a tank top because it must have just been the closest thing off the top of my bag. Start charging my phone. I'm on my phone just like reading random posts or like messaging friends or whatever just to try to stay awake. I somehow message an Uber. Don't remember any of the Uber trip. He wakes me up at the airport, gets me out of there. I don't know
Real quick, do you want to know what actually happened?
What?
Scott ordered him an Uber
Really.
because he told me that.
I was asking him to?
I don't know, but he's like, yeah, I got him to the airport.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just like you're blackout and you're like I must have done it
Because
right?
I had my phone charger in my pocket,
Yeah.
so I assumed that I was charging my phone there.
Yeah.
I need to send Scott money.
I already sent him to him.
Why didn't you tell me?
I don't know. I got you.
Anyway, because I kept waking Scott up to be like asking him questions.
Give me an Uber. Give me an Uber.
Anyway, I was like,
Hey.
I'm fucked if I don't get out of here. Because I didn't know where we were.
Yeah. I know.
Anyway, I got to the airport and I didn't know which. You know what? That makes me actually sad because I thought I got myself out of this one.
You get by with a little help from Scott.
Yeah.
Drunk Scott.
I'm a little Scott.
Anyway, so I'm at the airline, but I don't remember which airline I'm at. So I'm just going up to kiosks and just being like, scan my passport. I'm on a flight at 7 to LA. I'm wearing a tank top at this point in like I don't know how cold it was, in the dead of night. I'm limping because my toe's broken.
Yeah.
So I've been limping this
I
entire
thought
time.
you had lost your crutches too. I was like,
I had
oh,
them with
no.
me. But I've been like limping between the kiosks using the crutches some of the way. And I'm asking kiosks. At this point, it's just they just feel sorry for me, man. Because I'm just beat. And I don't know what airline I'm with. They tell me I'm with Frontier because they check the board for me. I go to Frontier. I get my passport. I go through TSA somehow, and I get to the. I remember getting to the gate and messaging you on my phone. I made it. I'm gonna make it.
Yeah. What you may not remember is that you asked, when are you getting here?
I checked the
and
message logs
I
again.
said 45 minutes.
I checked that
And then,
exact message
like
log time.
5 minutes later, you're like, you here or what? And I was like, no, bud. Like 35 more minutes, and then.
I just knew that as soon as I found you, I could go to sleep.
Yeah.
And so I was just desperately trying to stay awake. But yeah, so I was like, I have my passport, I have my boarding pass, I have my phone, I've done it.
Yeah.
And literally, you told me this later, but you had a blood nose that you're taking care
So yeah,
of.
right before we got on the plane, I had this insane bloody nose, and I was just in the bathroom, just like I lost like probably a half pint of blood
Jesus.
just out of my head. Yeah, I don't know why. It just kept. It was really dry. You know, I got sinus problems. You know. And
Jeez, dude.
and so I'm just bleeding, and I'm like, this should be stopping soon, but it's not. So I'm just like waiting it out, holding my nose and stuff, and that takes so long that when I get back to the gate, it's like halfway boarded. So I just immediately go over to Miles, who's still passed out, and I'm like, time to go, let's go, we gotta go. And if I had been in a different situation and like sort of been able to get him up, or not get him up, but like wake him up, be like, assess the situation.
At that time, I knew the plane was boarding, by the way, and I was just using my old Stratif. I just always board last.
Yeah. Well, either way, I was like, if I hadn't had the bloody nose, I would have been like, phone, right there, and you would have been like, and then picked it up and everything.
That's how
would
it
be
would
fine.
have. But
But
like,
you lost it.
the thing is, if I put it on top of me as well, which is a strat I sometimes do, if I get up, it's gonna fall. I'm gonna notice it.
Yeah. Well.
This time I put it next to me, and I only realized when we got off the plane, that phone is still sitting there at gate 32A.
Yeah.
Colorado Airport. And I got out of the flight. I remember waking up as we were like landing, and I was like, "We did it. I can go home and sleep." And I checked my pocket, and my phone's not there, and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Because
You started hollering on the plane.
at the airport, that was like, I thought I'd made it. And you know what? And hearing that thing about Scott, who ordered me the Uber, I'm finally repenting. And you know what? I'm finally gonna stop. Going to Colorado on a broken foot, for one, was a mistake.
Yes.
But I just push the boundaries. Like, I'm always just like, no, I can make it.
Yeah, no, the Ja Lord himself is punishing you.
And honestly, it's probably good that I lost that phone, because if I had that phone, I was telling Neep, I'm like, if I have my phone, I'm saying, like, because I didn't know about the Scott thing either. I'm like, straight up, blackout me, got me home with all of my belongings, my passport, everything. I did it.
Yeah.
Like, if I make it out of that one, I'm just like, there's no problem here.
It was good. It was good that you get to face the consequences.
But what I'm worried about is some guys brute forcing my phone right now, hitting my Tinder most importantly, hitting my
Your
Venmo.
Tinder? You don't even use it.
No, I don't. That was a joke.
I literally don't think anyone's doing that, by the way.
I think it's in some airport bin somewhere, but
Yeah.
their system to get it back is so convoluted. So I'm just calling and messaging. What's really hard to get a lost and found item back is if it's your phone, how do you call them? I gotta like borrow Nick's phone or something.
Or, yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, yes, you do borrow it from other people. But yeah, man, it's just how it goes. Colorado never.
Colorado's never done me well, but I love Colorado.
No,
Why?
You don't. No, you don't.
You just say that about every Midwest shitty
You just
mountain
like
town.
weird shit.
Yeah.
You like weird America. In the same way that I probably like weird Australia, just because it's a novelty.
Yeah,
There's
it is.
kangaroos
Yeah.
bouncing
And you
around.
could eat them.
You can eat them. You can try to
I'm
eat them.
I'm gonna have the biggest pouch sandwich I've ever eaten.
You don't want to do that, dude. That's just disrespectful. Yeah, I finally learned my lesson, guys. You know what? I'm gonna start saying maybe it's time to follow Slime and Mikey and have an early night occasionally.
Yeah, it's. I don't know, man. You could have met Anti.
I don't give a fuck about that. Why would you say that?
Because you don't give a fuck about it.
Now I wish I was eating s'mores with Mikey and Slime.
So yeah.
You know what though? I did beat Scott a few times at Street Fighter, and that alone is worth.
That's good. I love that he just says, "Yeah, I do," with that cheeky smile, no denial whatsoever. I like that too. Check. Shit keeps going out. Boss Tinder. I'm
And
tired of talking
But
about
just-
Tinder. I'm sick of this dude.
I'm wearing just that image of me going up to random gates. I'm wearing a tank top that says wasted youth because my t-shirt is in my bag, has throw up on it. I'm limping. I'm just walking up to them and showing them my passport and asking them to scan it just to check if I'm on that airline.
Yeah. You're
At
just
that-
mashing A at every NPC.
Yeah, just to see it, just like when you can't read as a little kid and you're just like trying to find out who's going to give you the quest.
Yeah.
And I was looking at my phone, I'm like, it's 4 a.m. or whatever. I got plenty of time. I can just mash A at all these windows.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to brute force my way through this process.
Yeah.
But just that picture, like I would love to see a CCTV of me coming in. Because I don't know if
wandering around,
but
limping around.
But like also moving like a little, like I'm so tired. I'm still drunk. I'm limping. And it's just like, at what point am I like, no, we can't run it?
yeah.
Because I've just said go for it so many times.
Dawson, what do you think of free trade?
Is that a sub nice question?
No. 42 Fry Guy. Sup nice is alt.
Imagine all bad Melee fans are just Supknife Smurf accounts, and he's just putting in so much work.
He's just all day, all long.
yeah.
Multi-boxing Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
He's using voice changes.
We're not gonna have that discussion on the cast. I'll type you up an essay. I promise.
Fuck, marry, kill. Jimmy, Spinner, Marco. The big one. Marry Spinner. Fuck Marco, kill Jimmy. Because he's not Drake. You have to remember that he's not Drake. And he also got, well, actually, Spinner got Jimmy shot.
I'd say
You
kill
can't walk back that one.
Spinner.
That's-
Fuck Marco.
That's fucked up. How do you...
Marry Drake.
And have to be in a wheelchair-accessible house for the rest of your life.
That's fucked up of you that you're not okay with that.
I'm just realistic.
Hey,
What about JT? How come he's not on this list?
Because JT already got one of those.
I'd fuck, marry, and kill JT.
you would be the one
Yeah,
who put the knife in.
I don't deserve this.
what's the premise of Degrassi? Is it just like a soap opera
It's
show?
like
Yeah,
whatever.
it's-
It's like
yeah.
whatever it takes. You know I'm gonna make it through.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
I don't know
how
what
it-
that. What's that?
It's basically just a middle school, high school
Drama?
soap opera. Yeah,
Okay,
drama
yeah.
show. But it's funny because season 3 got really, really weird. Like, it was just like kids are like having insane mansion parties. and,
Okay,
like,
yeah. Degrassi gets to a point where it's just like so like the problems escalate
they have
so
to.
quickly.
It's
just-
like now they're involved with like the mob or something, and
Gangs.
Gangs.
There's always a gang in the season. Johnny's in trouble with the gang.
isn't there that one clip where Drake's
Canadian
just
gangs.
like, "All right, bitch," to that girl? Like I've just seen this one clip of Drake from
In
Degrassi,
Degrassi?
where he like shuts down some girl who like cheated on him or something.
It can't be.
Or-
It can't be Aubrey.
It is. I think it is.
You'll have to show me because I'm trying to rack my brain of the tapes. But
He
don't
says
think
something
so.
like really. He like calls her like something really derogatory, or just like she's like, "Oh, so can we go out?" And he's just like, "Nah, piss off, bitch," or something like
Really?
that.
oh
This
yeah,
is-
yeah. Ashley. I think he calls Ashley that.
Does he really?
I think
call
so
Ashley that?
because something Ashley pissed him off.
Or was it Craig that said it to Ashley? Craig probably did.
Greg
it too.
probably did it too.
fuck
he's
Craig.
always on that broken.
Honestly,
What?
I
He's
know
in middle school?
No, high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the first season, this group of kids starts in middle school, and then they progress to high school.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it's high school all the way after
Dude,
that.
I love how like think of middle school. Like when you see a real middle schooler, it's like this is a boy. Like this is.
Yeah.
But then it's like Degrassi, and it's just like these people are.
They're
adults.
like not real people.
Yeah,
I know
It's
what
just
you
like
mean.
it's such a weird.
I think there's
if
another.
you went to an actual middle school, nobody would look like this, and nobody's like doing cocaine.
I think. Well, no. That's the thing is, I think there's
Kids-
another side of that coin where people are doing that.
There's
Kids smoking at age 12.
I mean, yeah, smoking darts at lunch, sure.
No, like
on
pot.
Smoko.
like
No,
no,
there-
smoking weed as well, sure, yeah.
There's an It's Always Sunny line where they're trying to make bands and Frank wants to be the bebops or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to be like 50s rock. And Max trying to be Chemical Toilet, which is like a really just hardcore band. He's like, the kids, they're bebopping now. We got to reach the kids. And Max like, Frank, the kids aren't bebopping. They're banging each other and doing meth before grade school.
yeah,
And that always resonated with me. Because sometimes they
because
are.
it's true.
Yeah. Even if they are, they still look 12 though.
Nah, meth makes you look old, man.
It's true. Maybe all the Degrassi actors were just on that glass.
Yeah.
Nina Dobrev is in it. She is, what's her name?
I think she's the girl
She's a girl with a kid.
that JT kind of no.
Yeah, JT likes her. Peter ends up going out with her. What is her name? I forget.
Does it start with an M? I'll just call her M.
I think it is an M. Anyway,
Let's get a couple more good real questions
couple
in,
more good real questions.
and then we can wrap her up.
Was a real question. The fuck, marry, kill was a real question.
Turtle, Ludwig. Oh, you're naming off us as Entourage characters. Have you watched Entourage?
Okay, who's who?
Slime, Vinny Chase. Don B is E. Sad Contest, Turtle.
Fuck
No,
off, dude.
what?
Ludwig is Johnny Drama. Taffakins is Ari. Mango
What?
is Kanye West. Hungrybox is Harvey Weinstein. I don't... Look, those are too spicy of takes. I do agree with me being Vincent Chase, though.
Of
Anyway.
course. Of course.
What?
Who am I? Who can I be?
Turtle.
You can't be anybody else. That's the
You're a
problem.
turtle.
How am I Turtle?
I'm Ari.
This is all about me. It surrounds me. I'm Vinny Chase.
I think I'm Ari then if you're Vinny.
I think you're on screen too much to be Ari.
Yeah.
But I
He
think
can't be turtle.
Miles
dude.
is E, but just a much taller E.
Who's E?
Yeah.
There's a joke in Community where it's like, man, that show was sloppy because it's like everyone's the goof.
Yeah.
Kind of like Friends. Every character is too big
Oh,
of a goof. You know
In
what I
that
mean?
show?
Yeah.
I also just thought it was a show that was like very it was a bit masturbatory. He was just like, hey.
Entourage
Yeah.
is absolutely
Yeah.
masturbatory. It's literally Mark Wahlberg being like, this is how I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually?
Classic turtle reaction.
Who's that guy?
Get that as
Don't worry
bad.
about
Mod him.
I'll
I'll give him mod.
I like him. Don't mod him. Mia Jones was Nina Dobrev.
There you go.
Mia,
Yeah. Mia.
That show would just have really hot girls on it. I feel like that was a massive draw card.
When's the Hungry Boss episode? One day. I love that guy. Even Stevens or Boy Meets World? Obviously Boy Meets
World
World.
meets world.
Even
I mean, not to disrespect Shia
or
LaBeef,
Chrissy
but-
Carlson Romano.
or Beans.
I feel bad. No more questions where Miles doesn't understand American pop culture.
There was something that he didn't understand. He didn't know what a Capri Sun was.
What do you have to say for yourself?
I don't know what it is.
You never had pouched juice?
You never had a kangaroo juice?
We call it a juice box.
Yeah,
no, but it's
no.
a pouch. It's like
This this guy, am I right?
it's
Oh,
like
you guys are drinking like just straight syrup?
yeah,
No,
kind of.
Doug, it's not a box. It's a pouch.
It's a sack, yeah, and it's just full of corn sweet.
Yeah.
And I think
Corn
I
sweet.
think sometimes it turns you into the Silver Surfer or like
Yeah,
the,
you suck that shit down and you're like Alex Mack.
yeah.
And
Is
you
this
can
like
go
a
under
thing
doors?
that children have mostly? Like, can I have one of these today and experience the same thing that you did then?
I mean, I could have one of those today and experience the same thing.
It's yeah, it's
today.
like
Is
it's
it
like
still
you
good?
have it at your soccer game.
Is it still good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's still good, man.
Let's get it. Let's have one.
There was a Combo Fest. You want to run a
Hey,
flip
so-
right now, Slime?
So what are our options for next weekend? It's like Vegas.
Vegas, skate
AZ.
video, MPL, or
Well, AZ. We have to go to AZ if we want to do MPL.
AZ, MPL, or
You know, Ben's having a big party and he wants us all to go.
That's what I heard.
Don't you
But
got Summit Street?
you know what?
Aren't you booked
Oh
for
no,
the next 2
I
weeks?
can't.
Oh,
I literally can't.
I'd have to go with Ludwig.
Yeah, you would. Do you think HBox will retire as a smasher? And then he asked the question again with an addendum and become a streamer / liquid rep / TO. Listen, players,
If you're going to HBox's tournament,
baby.
you're going.
And you know he's gonna
There's
get up
gonna
and
be
be
more
like,
L's than just 0 and 2.
he's gonna be like, "Well done to Plop for winning this tournament. I probably would have won if I entered, but I'm a TO now, huh?"
Someone said,
didn't he go to school? He'd get a real job.
Yeah,
He's on
yeah,
that shit.
he's got
He
like
just get a
chemical
real job.
engineering degrees.
You know what though? Big respect to Hungrybox for becoming who he is today, whilst going through some of the toughest schooling in America.
Yeah,
Like,
sure. Yeah, no, it's
that's very unique.
it is unique and it's harder to do, and he did it. He
And
did
you
a
could
very
probably
hard
only do
thing.
that with a floaty. Like, let's be real. Fox is never doing that.
I think KJH is on that tip.
Yeah, and
He's
has
making it.
Yeah, yeah.
Crush.
And he's a god of melee too, just like
Isn't
Crush.
every melee player like a CS major or some shit?
I think a lot of them are.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people
They're just
are.
a bunch of fucking nerds.
I think a lot of people play video games.
I'm tired of this community.
No, I don't think Crush is Crush going to school?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No one's actually sure, it feels like. There was one... what the fuck?
I want to know if Crush has any real friends.
I want to know that, too. I think he does. They're just the boys, you know?
I think Crush goes to Eyes Wide Shut parties.
I think he wants to.
Yeah.
I think that's a measurement of him making it.
That's like certain people with the verified on Twitter.
Yeah.
I think Crush wants to have a white picket fence and a Labrador, but be wife swapping with like the local police. Like on that hardcore, like where you're really rich and you play Scrabble and then just like you just have an orgy afterwards. And everyone's wives seem really, really clean cut and really normal until after 9 o'clock and a few sherries.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, let's go into the den.
Yeah, yeah. And you have a different house or a different part of the house for that.
Someone said Capri Suns are called Juicy Boys down under.
You got Juicy Boys?
You
got Butcher Boys?
We got Butcher Boys.
Don B, you always talk about American Smashers as Gus's. Are Oz Smashers throwing paws instead of talking that good shit?
No, I mean, there have been no, not really. It's just like I don't know. There is a culture difference.
Yeah, that's mainly what he's talking about. It's not just Smashers, but it's like the culture
like people,
of
yeah.
Kind of being weird.
But I feel like I'm becoming this weird hybrid now. Like
you
I'm
becoming
not the
a
person.
Gus.
I'm not. No. I'm just not the person who left. And I worry that like one day I'm gonna wake up and MPL is gonna be getting 100 million views on YouTube, and I'm gonna look over to my GameCube controller and the setup or whatever, and just be like, the guy who arrived in America hates this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you imagine if like this all blows up? Which would be great. I mean, it would mean that I could stay in America with my friends, and this is a new life that we could form. But like the guy who left wasn't planning on that, and I don't know if he'd like it.
That's life, though.
It is, yeah.
You look back a couple of years, and who were you a couple of years ago? I feel like you've always just been.
I've been literally the same.
I can't imagine.
Unwavering.
Your moral core is like cannot be cracked. You can't.
But
there hasn't been any like. It's molding, but there hasn't been any like crazy like.
Yeah,
shifts.
you used to eat bologna.
No, I never ate bologna.
You're just on the wave. Always.
I've always been on a wave.
But
yes.
what if you're wrong?
What if I'm wrong about what?
Everything. Like, you got to try other stuff out, or like consider other stuff just in case, right?
I have. It's just whack.
The Dawson is just like a whack column and a chill column.
Yeah.
And that's it.
See, like I live my life wondering like, what if I'm wrong about all of this? Like, and I'll think about it and be like, oh, we can make some adjustments, or like I'm never like, this is how things are.
Well, I'm that way about a lot of things until met with opposition.
Until met with the whack column or the chill column.
Yeah, until someone's like, hey, that's whack. And I'm like, oh, wait, hold on, let me. And then I calculate. And sometimes like, oh, that is whack.
Yeah.
Sometimes like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm like,
true.
Sometimes I like a lot of things that people might consider whack that are chill.
Can you name one?
One thing that a lot of people think is whack that I think is chill.
Yes.
On the spot, it's really hard. But I know there's a few.
All right. We'll chop it up in the office afterwards. The cursed office.
Classic office sesh.
Yeah.
Last question, guys. I'm going to
Alright, let's
find
do it.
one.
It's funny goody.
Oh, boy. There was one that I thought was really good, but I can't find it. Oh, fill time, boys. Fill time. Go, go, go.
I'm still trying to
hey,
think of my
Dawson,
thing, dude. What's up?
What did you do this weekend?
I already did Switch Fest.
Do you like those hats?
Nah, that's more him.
Hey.
I'm more of this.
Hey,
I'm
Yerb.
much more of this.
Yerb, that's a good drink, right?
Yeah. Also, we could talk about, just for a quick aside, there was fucked up races in
Oh!
Utah.
Yeah. In Colorado, every time I see Europe, I always think of Dawson, actually just anywhere. And there were the ones in Colorado, it was like Jamaican themed,
Yeah.
and it was like Jamon berry.
Yeah, it
and
was like
shit.
Jamon Mint.
Yeah, and it was like,
You can't do that.
might as well be like Bob Marley
Yeah.
blueberry.
Yeah,
And
it's like bongo berries
it's
and
like, dude, is the culture so fucked at the Boulder College that they just have to make everything fucking Rastafari
Yeah.
just because like Ross Trent will buy it? Do you think Ross
You know
Trent's
what,
looking
though?
at that thing and be like, ah, yes, me,
Excuse I.
excuse I?
No, it's. But the thing is, for all the people who are like, I don't think that many people are like, oh yes, Rasta culture, I'm about that. But there's a bunch of stoners who are like, heh, and then buy it.
Ska music sucks.
Eating human should be hard whack, you Gus. It's just once. I just want to try it. I'm not keep doing it.
Eating human pinkies? That's pretty whack. It's definitely not in the
No,
chill
that's
column.
tight.
It's
That's the tight column.
Actually,
I think anyone
It's kind of tight.
anyone putting the word Gus and whack
there's
that
a
close
special
together
column at the very
is too gnarly
top.
for me.
You know what's like a big come up too is when you like when you have like you tell Dawson something that you think is cool, and it's initially like something that he might think is whack, and he thinks about it for a moment. He's like, actually, yeah, that's pretty cool, and it's like it means so much
Dude,
because he's never fronted, like in his
That's
life.
just Matty Ice when he agrees with us.
Well,
No, there was one time where I think he was making the first cut of, was it Reba or just anything? The Mash, one of the intro songs that we used,
yeah,
and I could tell Anthony was very sincere. Was like, "Do you actually like it?" And I said, "Yeah, this is good. Proud of you."
yeah, and I was like, shit. It's just me, like, because he hates so many things, and if he thinks something is good, you're just like, oh yeah, baby,
Yeah,
that's it.
The good density is like very.
And Reba does it.
You know what though? I think
I
that's
love
why-
Reba. I'm pretty sure a lot of people think Reba's whack, but I hardcore Reba stand for a while and watched that show. Dead homies.
Dead homies. All right, I don't see any more.
I think that's why
questions. We
people
can
try to
end it.
impress you though, dude, is because you've said so many things that are whack that when somebody's like, "No, I was the fan who got through."
I
Like,
guess.
You know what? It's like when you withhold, like, see me, if someone comes up, and you've changed a lot, like, I'm saying old you, potentially. But, like, if someone comes up to me in a tournament, they're like, hey, you're that guy on the show. I'm like, yep, that's me. And then they're like, say something to me, and they're like, cool. And then they're like, you want to play Melee? I'm like, sure do. I'll play friendlies with you for a while. Let's play. And, like, it's so level 1, like, what I'm giving to that person,
Mhm.
that they're like, oh, it's just a guy. But when you're like, that was funny. You've evaded all of the traps, and you're the funny fan. And they're like, yes!
I guess if they
Because
see
they
it that way,
finally avoided all of those things which you've talked about. Like, oh, I hate it when a guy comes up and does this. I hate it when a guy comes up and does that. Oh, I wish people didn't do this to me. And then what
I
that
hate that
creates
culture
is like a
created.
scarcity.
Yes.
And then you can be like, you're funny. And they're like, the funny man said I was funny. Yes.
Big cookie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it's the same way that people, like, for lack of a better word, like that whole gaming culture of women. It's just like, no, what you want to do is just pretend that you're really valuable and then be like, I've selected you, and try to bestow someone with that. And it's like, not obviously not something you've done on purpose, but that's
Yeah.
like the entire social function of like what those guys are trying to do.
Yes, it's if that's like how that mirror, it's like a two-way mirror or one way. I don't know the exact phrase, but it's different on each side. If they get the cookie and they're like, I've evaded all the things. I'm out here just being like, haha, funny. You know what I mean? Like,
You just like what they've said.
I just like funny time.
Yeah, no, I know. but inadvertently, by all of the scarcity, like that's what it's created.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting that humans react so positively to negativity.
Like I said, people like to sit in a chat and complain about a tournament rather than watch something else. I do too. Why? I don't know.
People like to complain.
That goes hand in hand with Melee, though.
It's like a,
Arctic.
I forget the word, but it's like a visceral reaction to something
Vicarious?
that like.
Does it validate us though? Does hating something make you just as valid as liking something?
Yeah.
It's just
yeah,
easier.
it actually
No,
is.
yeah,
Because
literally
the
the
ultimate
same validity.
zeroing is to not care about it.
Yeah.
And to be like, I have an opinion and I'm stating it is pretty synonymous with like I should be heard right now because I have a complaint.
And complaints get more reactions, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, some people complain because it's just like exercise is just like.
I hate complainers.
I know you do, but you
I-
complain all the
and
time.
I don't complain.
You complain about complainers.
Shit. Checkmate. All right. Guys,
We got bamboozled.
I got bamboozled. Once again, it seems I got bamboozled. I'm going to go turn off the stream. Guys, you want to play me out?
I'm just gonna put on this mask and go to my party.
Okay. I'll see you on the other
I
side.
This is the kind of parties I go to.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like those parties.
Look how short he is, guys. It's not a meme. It's not a meme. Your legs hurt, bro?
You're fine. I'm really 5'10".
Oh, nice.
This is where I put all my drugs.
Actually looks really